What's going on, people? Welcome. We are Grown A Geeks, and tonight is a special episode of GAG Anime. We have been on here a little bit with anime and don't want to neglect or forget the importance of the other parts of our nerd journey, other parts of our blurred love, and the other parts of our geeky lifestyle. Anime is a
hmm
big part, and we want to make sure that we are giving it the due attention that it deserves. I am your host, Elder Geek Sam, and joining me today is my man, the homie, RG Cashmere. What's going on, RG?
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
That's
Glad we
what's up.
finally get to talk anime. We've been movies and TV shows and comics and heroes and all kinds of stuff. It's time to get into the cartoons. We talked enough about real people.
right. We need to enjoy some of our fantasy elements,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's what it's going to be. Trying to get my setup here, get all my screens right. I'm missing one of my displays, but we will get it going. It's minor. Where's that one? That one's here. That one's there. Two of them are in the same tab. That's why. There we go. So, anime. Eat the cake, anime. Let's talk
Mm.
about some anime. So, what it do, man? What's the word on the anime front? We
Like
are we
what's
are.
new? What's on the
Hey,
watch
what's going
list?
on, man?
Oh, welcome,
Just
welcome,
talked to
welcome.
some comic writers today and spoke to a manga person the other day. Okay. Love the cartoonist, all black, of course. Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Very nice. Very
Only pay
nice.
attention to the black creatives in the space. You know what? We got to support our own. And like the one actress said, I'm rooting for everybody black. Simply
There
put,
you go.
you know what I'm saying?
There you
And
go.
I don't pretend it's otherwise. There are other things out there, and there are other people in the space. I wish them all the best, but I'm rooting for everybody black. That's
There you
just
go, man. There you go.
truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Um,
But
and that's
I don't
just
discriminate. I love it all.
I love it all too, but
I
I'm
love it
I'm
all. But I
always
respect. I
going to
respect. We always rooting for the brothers and the
yeah,
sisters
like I'm always gonna
out there getting it.
bring them to the forefront when it's in my control, when it's in my power to do so. That's
Oh
that's what
yeah.
I'm gonna hype up. And that's all I'm always gonna big up that. Um, so let me get my Crunchyroll pulled up and in front of me so I have access to it. Just so as we get to talking about a little bit of this, a little bit of that, we will have access to the content that's available. This is
Oh
the next
yeah.
thing that I plan on watching. Uh, Demons of the Shadow Realm. That's on the
Yes.
watch list.
Very good show. Very good
Somebody
show.
told me Witch Hat Altier or Atelier. I've got to check that one out.
Definitely a good
That's
one.
it's another one I've been told about. At some point, I'll get on. I got reincarnated as a slime. Four.
Yes.
Eventually, I will get to that.
Another interesting season.
Yeah, but see, that's my jam because, as I've stated, I'm an
Isekai.
isekai enthusiast, and that is always anytime somebody's in a different world. If
hmm
somebody gets transported to a different world, I'm all in, and that will always get my attention. Even a lot of the books that I listen to, my audiobooks, oftentimes have that same focus where it's somebody from here, they get transported, and now they're in this mystery world, and that fish out of water aspect and the interface for the main character is typically going to be one that's familiar to me as a gamer, as a tabletop RPG person, having those RPG elements where they have the system menus and they have the screens that no one else can see, and that's just how their interface works, and that's their interaction. whereas everybody else, it's just this is their normal world.
Right.
This is the way things go. But being able to like touch something and identify it, it usually helps to bring a little bit better understanding. And it's an easy mechanic, I think, for the viewer to understand how they're having to interact with these things in this world. And I've always liked to see it explained that way. I think that's the best way I can put it. Just,
I think the audience, like gamer audiences, intersect with anime fans. So
yes.
I think you probably tend to share those those forms of media in common. So watching isekai like that, I think, is an easy transition. Like it's easy to accept, it's easier to follow. Um, and then there's some that take it very well, like Shangri-La Frontier, which
Right. And
is
see, that one's definitely a combination
yeah,
because it is a game.
yes,
And so seeing that transport into the game world is just it's a very easy visual, but it's a
mhm,
very simple concept to understand. Oh yeah, kids definitely they can resonate with that. And I think that's why there's so many isekai anime because it's a very easy concept and the stories are even though they're like all the same, they're always different, they're always endless. There are certain aspects that are going to be the same across almost every episode
mhm,
or every show. And yet the individual stories and what they're dealing with and what they're seeing is still unique to that character, to that MC, to that world,
mhm,
to that interaction, the way they have to deal with things in that world.
mhm.
Um, but I think if they can get a handle on the titles and not give so much away in the titles, maybe they could get some people drawn in a little more. Because like Jeff was saying the other day when he was here, we were talking about some anime then. Like there's an anime right now, the entire title. The strongest job is apparently not a hero or a sage, but an appraiser, provisional. That's the whole title. And
Gotta
it's
love it.
like, that time I got reincarnated. But then you have others that are just like Rising of Shield Hero.
Right.
That's the whole title.
Jujutsu
Konosuba.
Kaisen.
That's the whole title.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just Chainsaw Man. It is what it is. And
Yeah.
so some of them are pretty good, and I don't think all of them have to have like these ridiculous, long, drawn out names. But at the same time, there is something, you know, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
That turned out to be pretty goddamn
That was
good,
a
right?
fantastic. I
Right.
fully expected that to be. I'm not gonna lie. I fully expected that to be completely etchy and a harem anime. And while it has a lot of like fan service moments in harem tendencies, but it's actually got a good story and it's actually a good anime. And that's not
Yes.
one you have to worry about watching. And if somebody comes in at the wrong time, what did they bump into? I
Right.
mean, anytime Loki familiar is on screen,
Yeah.
that's just Loki. But otherwise, it's a
But I
pretty
still don't
straightforward
think it's
anime.
fan servicey as much as there's just a little pervert character.
Well,
Like,
like and that's what I'm saying. Like the character
yeah,
Loki is just a perverted character, so
yeah.
those moments tend to be, and occasionally there's a little bit of conversation, usually revolving Loki.
Mhm.
Um, but otherwise, it does kind of stand up as an individually good anime, and the
Yes.
concept is pretty interesting. You have adventurers, and they go dungeon diving, and they create familiars. That would be essentially like your clan or your team, and having not having anybody in your clan makes your clan
Right.
weaker than others, and so
Mhm.
they can take over your clan. You got to fight, and our main character in that show is just him and his goddess, and eventually they continue to build and build, and eventually they end up with like a pretty sizable clan, and it's a good show.
Oh yeah.
And they got
Oh
a
yeah.
couple of good movies. Of course, they have their they don't have a hot springs episode, they have a beach episode.
That is right. They do have a beach episode, so yes. But it branched off into what was that? Not is it Listeria or there's another
Oh, the Wind Princess or whatever.
the one that focuses more on the sword the sword
The Sword Princess.
the sword princess, yeah. And the
Yeah,
show
it's actually
focuses more on her a little bit more than I can't remember the male protagonist's name right now. But yeah, because it's like 2 seasons of pick up girls in a dungeon. And then there's that show, which ties into it, and it's I almost feel like it's Wisteria too, but I'm
Sword Oratoria.
there you go, Sword Oratoria, that's it. Yes.
Sword
So
Oratoria. And they have 4 seasons of the main show.
okay, four.
Um and one of them is Arrow of Orion, and that's a movie. And then of course they
Yeah.
have like the movie that's kind of adapted, but the spinoff you're talking about is sort of
Sword Oratoria.
Oratoria.
Yeah.
Or Oratoria. And
Yes.
that one does focus more on the Sword Princess and whatnot.
Yes. That was also another now have you seen that one?
I have.
Oh, okay, okay. Because yes, that
I've
was
watched
also
all
very good.
of Yeah, I've watched all of that series and that show. It was very good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it just goes to show, like those sometimes those titles, they can be misleading. I know there's one trope that actually that show does pretty well, and that sometimes I'm getting, I guess, a little bit tired of, which is the dungeon. You're going into the cave, the multiple levels. Every
Right.
15, 20 so levels is a home base for you to chill, things like that. The monsters get worse the deeper you go. There's always some lower level group who's not supposed to be there who finds themselves in a lower dungeon, or somehow some powerful monster from the lower dungeon manages to come up to the top. I mean, they are
I
kind of
think it
running that.
I think it falls into the same while it is tropey, I think it falls into the same concept contextually as when you were playing a video game, there are some areas you are not supposed to go. All
Correct.
the enemies in that area have red health bars. They're not orange, they're not yellow, they're not green, and you will
So you are
find
not ready yet.
yourself right, like you are not supposed to be, you have to be this level to enter this area.
Gotcha.
And if you enter that area and you're not that level, you attack and you do no damage. And in this case, like there has to be a way to increase the threat level as our characters are constantly getting stronger. As time goes on, Bell really starts to get the hang. Like he just has this knife, he just has this dagger. And as time goes on, he just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And of course, now he can't, if he does anything on the upper levels, it's going to be super simple. It's going to be really
Right.
easy for him. So, of
Right.
course, he has to go dive deeper. And once he gets deeper into the dungeon, now they're on level 35 of the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And, the level 60 monster escaped the lower half. And yes, now that enemy is on level 35 and he should
But
not be on level 35.
it works well for that show, right? Like that show actually does it in a very tolerable way. Like I'm very the characters on the show are well written, and the character development on that show is done well. It's done well enough to keep my attention and warrant their adventures in these dungeons and on these levels and with these monsters. That's fine. It's that it's just that the trope is it extends to so many of these fantasy, maybe isekai, may not be isekai, like just
Right.
fantasy otherworldly shows where here's the heroes, they got a party, the party goes dungeon diving, they're not supposed to be on these levels, things like that, where there's some where it's done well and then there's some where it's just kind of mediocre, and it doesn't, it doesn't hold your attention. We all had those animes that we start and they look interesting. We get 4 or 5 episodes in, you feel like you've seen it before. You just, you want to move on. I like the. I'm liking. There has been an influx recently of creativity. Is what I will say. There has been an influx of creativity and it being done well. Like, for example, you're getting ready to watch Demons of the Shadow World,
Right.
which is a current world type situation where they have to move about in current time, and I like that aspect of it. Right, as you watch it, you'll understand, you'll get into the power levels and things like that, and it's much less training in power levels and more who you're assigned type situation. um but it's done well. The characters are likable. The situations. I will say this: the protagonist is another favorite of mine. Like, his behavior. He's not whiny. He's no Asta. There's no
Oh,
unnecessary yelling.
ah,
Any of that.
yeah.
I don't know how. Something, and that was. You probably hit me with a fucking Usual Suspects on that one. Just like got me in the shit was in the background.
Yeah.
But I do hate Asta because he just, at least for the first 2 seasons, I hate Asta. So, but
The first two parts, because they break it
yeah,
down really weird with that, because they don't have seasons in a traditional sense, because
right.
Black Clover was one that ran. I don't know if it had episodes every day or every week or something, but the first part has like 100 plus episodes. It falls back
Holy,
into that same category where, like, you can't say Naruto season 3. You just have to,
understood.
like, you have to almost call it like by arcs or something, because it's all of that is one season. And I know you can get like almost 200 episodes in, and you're only in like the second part,
Mm. I
you
could
know.
not
And
get past. So where I stopped was he was still training with that. Um, what do they call
the Black Bulls.
the Black Bulls? He was still training with them. They had just went on submission, and I think I kind of stopped there because it was like 15 minutes in. This motherfucker's just yelling. I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, just
Yeah, it
just
was.
fight, man.
That one was a challenge for me for a while, and I'm just now getting to a point where I'm trying to go back and finish all of the first
Part.
all of the main parts.
Gotcha.
um and I'm all the way through. I'm actually through a good bit. I'm 100 episodes in or so, and so I've got like 80 more to go to get through what would be season one, parts 1 and 2. And then eventually, if I can get down to the last part, I can start getting into like the 180, get somewhere around 180, and that would be getting into like part 3. Well,
Mm,
actually, I'm right at part 3 now. Part 3 runs from like episodes 101 all the way through to 150, I think it is.
mm,
And then just past 150 to like the last part of 180, I believe, is where we get into where they can break it off as seasons.
understood.
And then they start shrinking it down to like 15, 20 episodes, because what would be considered the fourth season, because like the new season that's coming out is getting into the new stuff, but where it ends, the previous season ends right around like 170.
Mm,
And I think there's only like 15 episodes for that season.
Gotcha.
Um, but for me, it's still like I got 80 episodes of this thing to catch up on before I can start the new stuff. And
Understood.
then there's a movie to try to
Yeah.
check out. And I'm like, I'll get into that. I just want to be caught up before I watch the new stuff. That's all.
I gotcha. That's a
I'm
tall
trying.
order, man. That's a tall order. Those.
Well, that's where we talk about dubbed and subbed. And that's a situation where it'll be okay because I'll be watching that dubbed
Right.
and I can literally just have it playing in the background
Hmm.
and I can listen and hear what's going on, glance up at the TV, maybe while I'm cooking dinner, eating dinner, whatever the case may be. And then when I can tell something's happening, I know to like turn my attention to it and focus in and watch. Um, Whereas when it's all subtitled, yeah, you can hear you can hear like metal clashing if there's weapons and you can hear the yelling, but you may not realize that the battle's about to start because if you don't speak the language, you don't know
Right.
what's being said.
You don't know why they fighting. Yeah. You just like,
Right.
what happened?
In my mind, if I don't know what's happening, then you killed my master and I'm here to avenge him.
Mm,
That's universal kung fu
it's pretty
theater.
close. That's good money. It's a good
You
bet.
know what I'm saying? That's always canon when there is no story.
That is a
That's the
good
head
bet.
canon when I don't have anything else to rely on.
That is a good
But
bet.
what is I've caught up on most everything else. So let me go to let me pull up my watch list here. And we can go down the watch list. I can make sure that I've covered everything you said I had to cover. We can talk about what is on there that we need to watch
Hmm.
or anything that needs to be added. Um, we can start with I guess, what we've caught up on and finished. I just finished Sentenced to Be a Hero.
Ah, okay. That is a
And
very, very interesting show. So I am just at the point on that show where he's a bit more accepting of,
of the goddess.
yes, like
Okay.
he's finally coming around, um, and not being such a butthole.
Yeah, I
So
will say that was like the longest 12 episodes. I'm not gonna lie. It really felt like the longest 12 episodes. And surprisingly enough, though, because a lot of that was still fighting. But there's a
yes,
lot of like political conversation and there's a lot of plotting and subplot and you got to know why are they having this conversation, why are they having that conversation, who
yeah.
are these people, who is that person, there's just so much you have to pay attention to with that show that it gets to be a little distracting.
Mhm.
And I
And
just
then
had to always be in the mood for that.
yeah. And then the world doesn't even seem that deep. Like it's not. It doesn't. So
Yeah.
far, it's like, okay, we got this ruling class, and they make you get in trouble, and now you get to be resurrected, and you got to fight for us whenever, and blah blah blah. And it just seems like a pretty easy get out. Like, all right, so if I just try to dip, y'all just kill me, and now I'm dead. Now I got to keep doing this shit for the next 100 years. Like, sure,
I mean, it's in a weird way the idea that being turned into a hero is a fate worse than death. Like if you're
right?
executed, that's one and done. But when you're a hero, you can constantly be resurrected, which means you can die multiple deaths.
Yes.
And because of that, it's kind of weird because it's like, how is that a bad thing? But at the same time, like one thing about like I try to relate it to a comic character like Wolverine, for example, or a
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool, who because of their regeneration, their healing factor, they're very difficult to kill. And
Mm-hmm.
so long as a drop of blood exists, as long as the DNA is not erased, they can resurrect. Um, Wolverine talks about all the time, like he feels pain still.
Right.
Like he feels pain.
Right.
He's just kind of learned to deal with it and overlook it but he feels pain. Um, Now they would have you believe that Deadpool does not feel pain. Like it seems like Wade, and with him being more of a comic character, more of a comic
Mhm.
relief character, they never really highlight that he does or doesn't feel pain. And because of that, you don't really get the sense of like he has a different type of invulnerability as a result of that.
Mhm.
And I don't think it comes across the same way with him. Whereas with Wolverine, he's still suffering, he's still hurting, he's still in pain, and that actually means something when he does some of the things he does because he's sacrificing. Like if he takes his claws, does this to stab the guy behind him, he feels that.
Right, right, exactly.
Whereas if Wade takes his sword and stabs it through himself to stab the other guy, he's cracking jokes the whole time. You take away that aspect of like sacrifice.
Right.
It doesn't feel like he's not giving up anything to do that. It's just a trick he can do that most people can't. So it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, there's no
Um,
weight to it. But now the
right.
protagonist in this show definitely feels pain.
Oh,
So
100%. 100%. And he's doing everything he can to still not die,
right.
despite the fact that he would be resurrected. There's one character in the show that the guy with the axe, he has apparently died so many times that he's essentially gone crazy.
Yeah.
And he is like, you can see the lack of humanity with that hero, and you kind of see what happens, and not really the downside, but you can see the result of constant death and resurrection, that a little bit of the humanity is stripped away each time, to the point where eventually it is just a zombie,
Mm,
and all he knows is defeating the enemy.
right. Machine.
And
Yeah.
so, you know, that was the last one. What was the last one you finished up?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I am on. Well, it says the last one I have watched was episode 11. I barely remember some of these, so I'm gonna have to
Sentenced to be a
watch again.
Hero?
Yeah.
Well, you've only got one more episode.
Okay.
If you've watched 11 episodes, then you've only got one more, in which case I
I
would
might I
say,
might have to go through 7, start again from 7 again. Because some of those, I think some of those episodes might have been, nap episodes.
understood,
Those
understood.
episodes might
Well,
have watched
other
me.
than that show, what other series have you been watching, or what other series did you recently complete?
Now, the last one that I completed would probably now wait a minute. There is Jesus Christ, have I not completed any of these? Okay. I think I rewatched the last several episodes of The Outcast
Oh, okay.
because I needed to kind of like see what happened with that new group, the new cult, and see what the situation with them is. And even though that's kind of an older, well, I guess it's not that old. So, but yeah, the Outcast is a very, very interesting. It's a to me it's a modern day Naruto in that it's the clans, the special powers,
Right.
um,
The
all the
guarding of the
powers are
secrets
very
of those
unique.
powers.
Yeah, the powers are very unique. Um, so I do enjoy that aspect a lot of the show. It had a great tournament arc,
Yeah.
so that was very good. And then it has probably one of the probably top 5 fight scenes in a anime ever.
Is that the water bottle in the park?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
It's
thing was
just
drawn so beautifully.
oh god.
Yeah. I was actually really pleased when I found out that they had, I could never get past season three. I'd never
Hmm.
been able to find season four and season five online. Um, I did not want to infect my computer, take a chance. So I never watched the episodes that I was able to find that would said they were season four. I was like, I don't know about this. So when they brought it to Crunchyroll, I was like, cool. So now that I can do seasons four and five, that'll be pretty good. But yeah, that was a season three episode in the park. It's season three, episode 8. It is one of the greatest fight scenes, and it is very reminiscent of, like you said, some of the better fights you have in Naruto. Think of like the technique that's being used is very similar to like Neji's technique mixed with Rock
Hmm.
Lee's hand to hand.
Yeah.
It's like Rock Lee's taijutsu with Neji's genjutsu, using his ninja power where he can see. He only has like that really small blind spot because he can see everything around him, so he's able to like counter any and everything. But if he had hands like Rock Lee on top of that, now you can't hit him,
Unbelievable.
and he got hands.
Yeah.
So that was definitely, yeah. So I get to go, like, now that I'm looking at it, I see that seasons 4 and 5 are on there, so we can add those to the watch list. Boom.
Yes.
Um, let's
So
see, another
what do you
one.
got?
Another one that I finished. I mean, I was current on everything, and I was staying caught up on everything that we had been watching. So I finished. I went back and watched Michiko and Hachin.
Okay.
Um, I knocked out Jack of all trades, Party of none. Knocked that out in a week. That was 12 episodes. It was really good. So I was just like episode, episode, episode.
Yeah, that is a good
Um,
show.
and with that one being dubbed, I was able to kind of fly through it. Didn't miss anything. It was really good. Um, I am waiting on. Let's see. I'm current on all the Jujutsu Kaisen. Current on all the Frieren.
Did you say you watched the
Um,
Hell's Paradise?
current. Yeah. Finished Tales
Okay.
Paradise. Um, the few that I have on the list now that I have not started, that I plan to get to here sooner than later. Um, they're back here to the top. So I've watched a couple episodes of Kill Blue,
Hmm.
and Kill Blue is about a professional hitman who's like 40 years old. He goes on assignment. He goes to retrieve something that was stolen. When he opens it up, there's a bug inside. The bug flies out, stings him. He, of course, like, kills the
Hmm.
bug. And then when he wakes up, he's 13. So now
Okay.
he has to be undercover in middle school in order to try to find out what's what, because that's the only way that he can, like, be left alone. He has to go to school every day, can't be like a truant 13-year-old. So he gets
Right.
up, he goes to school. Now he has to navigate. It gives a lot of Sakamoto days where you have like this
Okay.
retired expert assassin who's having to deal with these normal situations.
Hmm.
Like, he's in a grocery store and he takes like a canned good and takes out like 3 assassins without anyone else around noticing, that kind of
Got you.
thing. So here this kid is in school,
As a
and
13-year-old.
as a 13-year-old, and he takes out a bully by like taking chalk from the chalkboard and creating a dust, like a dust screen so no one can see him, like, five-finger death punch this kid. And when the dust clears, he's like on the other side of the playground walking away, and the bully is on the ground. Um, Kill Blue it's action comedy shonen. It's been pretty interesting, and that one I plan on. I've been enjoying what I've seen so far. Like I said, I've watched 2 episodes. I'm like, okay, that seems kind of cool. I'll check this out. Um, and then I've got now just added to the list. Like I said, I have Witch Hat Altair added to the list. Demons of the Shadow Realm has been added to the list. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Tojima wants to be a common rider. Roll Over and Die.
Oh, wow.
And this other one, where was it? It was on the list I was looking at a second ago. Demon Lord Retry. Now, Demon Lord Retry is just going to be one of my. I fully expect that one to be one of my. When I'm bored and I'm tired of like focusing on stuff, this will probably be a fun one that I turn on just to turn on. Seven Mortal Sins, Tales of Wedding Rings, Plunderer. Those were the same kind of like etchy fun. It's ha 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 ha. Look at that. That's cool. But surprise, like Tales of Wedding Rings has a surprisingly interesting story. Although I am not pretending it is not exactly what it is. I'm not gonna like sit here and pretend like, oh, it's such a good. You really. I knew what I was watching. I make no. I'm not ashamed. It was still entertaining. But Tales of Wedding Rings is basically one guy has to marry all the princesses of all of the different clans in order to get the ultimate power so that he can defeat the demon lord. So it's got the harem aspect because as king, once he marries each of these princesses, you know, he like has a ring on each finger, and the more rings he has, the more powerful he becomes. And each princess of each village has something they can teach him and contribute to his total power. It's a silly little show, but it's fun and the fighting's pretty good.
Okay.
Chilling in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers. That's another one where our main character gets isekai'd into another world. He discovers very quickly that the system he's in is broken and he can completely exploit his level 2 powers. And so, but he doesn't want to be the hero. He doesn't want to be the main character.
Wow.
He just wants to chill over here on this farm. But of course, he keeps finding himself in the middle of all the big stuff.
I love those.
So I mean, there's a, I mean, the watch list is pretty substantial. I have a good bit of stuff on here, and
now, have you seen Fate Stay Strange Fate?
Fate Stay. Now the Fate series, I remember hearing about it. I know the Fate series exists. I will say I have not watched the Fate series.
Are you serious?
I am serious. It is.
I gotta be honest with you. I think I'm gonna call in I think you need to prioritize this one.
Okay. You have a list here. Let me go to RG recommends and add it to that list.
Fate Zero is in my top 5 ever. Like, though there are two. It's between Fate Zero and
So I typed in Fate and a lot of stuff came up.
So there are about 5 different seasons directly related to like the Fate series. They didn't necessarily come out in order. So there was let me make sure I'm saying it in the order that I remember. The first one I remember coming out was the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Okay.
Unlimited Blade Works is fucking awesome. That was the first one I saw. Okay. But then right after that, the next one that I saw was Fate Zero, which is technically the prequel to Unlimited Blade Works. Fate Zero is some of the best. It's absolutely incredible. It is incredible. It is on the level of, for one, it's a very serious show, right? So there's no playtime, there's no beat scene, there's
Okay.
there's none of that. There's no screaming, no big eyes. It's fucking on and popping
Okay.
with this show. Um, I have no idea if there even is an antagonist and a protagonist on this show. It's just everybody has a reason to fight. And it's really going to be about who you align with from a philosophy standpoint as
Okay.
to who you're going to root for. And I will say that everybody gets a fair share. And I mean, shit, the person I was rooting for, I was mad they didn't even make it. Like, they got their ass whooped. They
So
didn't get
I
their ass whooped, but I mean, it's one of those shows.
I did a quick Google search and asked, what order should I watch the Fate series?
Okay.
It gave me 3 options. It says option A, the narrative order. This is the most popular. This
Yeah.
avoids major spoilers for the rest of the series and builds beautifully towards the prequel.
Yes.
Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works.
Okay.
It says it's the ideal starting point for most newcomers, offering a high quality introduction to the universe. Then watch Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel. It's a movie trilogy, 3 films,
Okay.
Presage Flower, Lost Butterfly, and Spring Song. They explore the darker alternate route. And then Fate Zero, which is the prequel to the main story that explains the events that lead up to it. It says watch that last to prevent massive story spoilers. That's the way it recommends it.
So okay,
Now,
now here's the thing. So I'm gonna be honest. Because I'm talking
okay,
about you here. You do not need to watch it in that order. You
okay.
can watch it in the chronological order, and you will understand what's going on.
And that was option B,
Yes.
chronological order. And this is for viewers who prefer to experience the story as it was originally released or just prefer the chronological timeline. So it says do Fate Stay Night, adapt the first route of the visual novel. The animation's aged a bit, but it covers crucial character arcs not shown in other versions, though many fans skip it to get to the UFO table animated entries.
It's
And
saying start with Fate Stay Night. No,
yes,
don't do it. No. You want to start chronological order in the universe, not in the order that it came out. Fate Stay Night came out first. Like, it was the first release of the series, but it's not
right. And
the order in which things happen in their universe.
gotcha. So then that might be the one down here.
Yeah, Fate Zero is the first. Like, that's what sets everything off.
Okay, so if we start with Fate Zero, that would be the first. So I'll let you, or if any of our viewers want to chip in and let us know, I'll let you tell me the order in which I need to watch, because when I do a search in Crunchyroll for Fate series, it pulls up so much stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I know what to? But you're
Yeah.
saying to start with Fate Zero.
Start with Fate Zero, and the reason why I say that is because there are characters in these other movies, like in Fate Stay Night, and especially Unlimited Blade Works. Because Unlimited Fate Zero basically goes right into Unlimited Blade Works.
Okay.
Like, there's characters from Fate Zero in Unlimited Blade Works. It would make more sense. Now, here's the thing: from a narrative perspective, if you were a beginner and trying to understand what the purpose, what all the rules of this universe are, Unlimited Blade Works does a much better job at kind of breaking down the what's called the Holy Grail War and the specifics as to how all of these characters and all of these fighters, all of these warriors wind up involved in the conflict. So it does the best job of explaining it. However, Fate Zero also explains it. It just doesn't take a lot of time with it, right? But it's the type of explanation that if you watch anime, you're going to pick up on it. You're going to understand, oh, okay, this is why they're summoning, this is why this is happening, this is why they're fighting, these are the different rankings, these are what the characters are called. You'll immediately get that. I think
Okay.
Unlimited Blade Works has one of those, oh, and when you do this and this person, and there's a nice little cutscene that, you know, somebody flashes, you know what I'm saying? They tell you everybody's role in the conflict. So, but you don't need that. I feel like because after I had watched it, I was like, shit, I should have watched Fate Zero first. I wish I watched Fate Zero first
Okay.
because it was like, because there was a dude in the show, there was a dude in Fate Zero, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the dude from. Why is he in this one? But this is earlier, right? So I already knew what his situation was going to be, right? Like I already knew what was going to happen to him. So that part I didn't like. So it's like to avoid that, start with Fate Zero. And then you could do Fate Stay Night, and then Unlimited Blade Works, and then Heaven's Feel. So those are the first four that I recommend for
Okay. Then I will check those out and try to get them added to the list here the right way. So Fate Stay Zero and then Fate Unlimited Blood Works. And after I finish those, because that's about 3 seasons right there, um,
you. Heaven's
then
Feel.
I'll come back. Then I'll come back and be like, what's after that?
Gotcha. Understood.
Because looking
Understood.
at it here, Fate Zero has 2 seasons itself.
Yeah.
And then you said that that leads directly into Fate
Unlimited
Stay
Blade
the
Works.
Night, which is one
Yeah.
season and 28 episodes.
Yeah.
So that's about 50 episodes I got to cover right there. I'll get through those 50
That'll give you
and
some
then be
time.
like, what's next?
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know
Understood.
now. Sometimes when they be good, it don't take as long as you think.
That's what I'm saying. And they're I'm not gonna lie, they were easy watches, man. When I got through zero in a weekend.
Yeah.
Like I
See,
was
it's just
done
it's
in a
just a
weekend.
matter of having a little bit of free time, and like this week I got a couple of things I'm doing. Tomorrow I'll be setting up live and in person down at the Regal Atlantic Station for the Supergirl premiere.
Very fresh, sir. Very
Yeah, we'll
fresh.
be on site for that. But then it's like, do I take the rest of this week that's scheduled off, or do I go back to work because I
Mhm.
would just be sitting at home wasting days? Might save the days for later and actually go somewhere rather than
Understood.
just burn them and do nothing.
Have you already seen Disclosure Day?
I've not seen Disclosure Day, but this is now the second time I've specifically been told to check it out.
I am. It is on my tomorrow list because it's cheap. It's
My
cheap Tuesday, cheap movie Tuesday. So
my tomorrow list is Obsession.
Ah, I gotcha. I
Because
gotcha. I
I
gotcha.
said I would have that watch, so I will be watching Obsession.
Understood. Understood. That makes sense.
Um, just because I mean it's I imagine at this point it should be available on like home viewing. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like it's gotta be somewhere.
That would be nice if it was on Fandango at home.
Right. Well, I'd say, and I imagine it's going to be like Prime Video or yeah, it shows it right here, Prime Video.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
So, and of course, I was just like, ooh, am I gonna be able to check it out? But it's oh, excuse me, not in my region.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to power up that Nord VPN. Just
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not
Let me
sponsored,
see if
but
it
it would be nice.
let me see if it's not recognizing my Prime, and that's the problem.
Wait, is this a
'Cause
new
sometimes,
season?
but that's
Oh my
yeah.
God, is this a new season?
Of what? Which
Wait, I
show?
have to check. Wisteria, Wand, and Sword.
That's come up on that's come up on my suggestion a couple times on Crunchyroll.
It is that first season. Did you watch Mashal at all? Mashal?
Is
The
that the
guy he
muscles and
was
magic thing?
yeah, he's a pretty plain, boring protagonist. He has no magic, but he's super fucking strong.
Black Clover remix.
Basically. But now
And
it's
that's
gotten some breaks.
that's why I skipped it initially, but I have heard good things about it.
It's gotten
And
some
so,
breaks, right?
and it just
Now,
took Black Clover so long to be good.
right.
Black
Now,
Clover eventually got good. I will say that. But it took so long that I almost missed getting to what was good. Because if you need 60 episodes to get to the good part, you need to start me at like episode 45 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a day and age where like animes are coming out and they're only having like 12 episodes a season. So they like come in, they get to the point, they get good, and there you are.
yes.
I
Yes.
don't have 30 episodes to let you get me hooked anymore. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
truthfully, and this is my hot take for the night.
Mm,
That's my issue with One Piece.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody who has watched all 1,000, I don't even know that they truly like it. They've just committed so much to it that they've convinced themselves it's better than it is.
They're soul bonded.
Pretty much. But I will say, I have watched a number of episodes because both of my boys were trying to like one son is turned, like he's caught up, and the other son was working to catch up. And because of that, almost every time I get home, they're watching, they got on One Piece.
Mm,
So I've watched all these episodes of One Piece completely out of order and randomly. Now, usually
mm,
I come in on one day, and then later on that week, I come in, they're like, maybe 20 episodes down the line. So I'm always watching the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. It's not
mm,
like one is here and one is there. And so it's like back and forth. It's always kind of moving forward. And
mm.
it's all a lot further than I am on any of it.
Gotcha.
So
Mm,
it's easy to just like watch and just enjoy what's on the screen at the time. And what I will say is great about One Piece is they have an amazing cast of characters. There are so many characters. There's all these captains who are a big deal. All of the it's like everybody knows kind of the main core people, but
mm,
there's just so many supporting characters, and all of them seem interesting, and all of them have
mm.
something to contribute. Because of that, there's a lot of story that can be told. but a lot of that story is slow moving. A lot of that
Mm.
is it takes a while. You know what I'm saying? Like you figure every episode is 22 minutes without commercials, and the first 5 minutes of every episode is going to be the recap and the intro. So we're already down to like 15 minutes. So you're only getting about 12 minutes of new content per episode.
Mm. Okay.
Do you know how long it takes to get anything going at 12 minutes a pop?
For real. Yeah.
That's why there are 1,000 episodes. You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
so it's like I just had to watch so much of it before I never got to the point where I felt like anything was good.
Mm.
I kept
Okay.
waiting to be like, why is everybody so hyped about this anime? Why is this the show that everybody like just because it has so many episodes? If you've been following it for a long time, then yeah, it's probably great because you're just used to what you're getting. But if you're trying to bring someone in and introduce them to this, go watch the Netflix series. It
Right.
covers the first it covers the first 90 episodes and it's very coherent, very cohesive, and it's interesting.
What covers the first 90? So that one season covers
First like
90 episodes.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And it is like okay, I can do it like that. And I feel like the Netflix series is probably the cliff notes of the show.
Mm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It cuts through the fat, gets right to the point, shows you the highlights, shows you the main important moments.
Mm.
Still gives you those fan service moments that are like, you know, you got to have Luffy saying, "I'm going to be king of the pirates." You got to have Zoro with his swords. You got to have, you know, Sanji trying to cook something and doing a
Right.
great job, but then also fighting and kicking the shit out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to have Robin being Rob. Like all of the characters are still there and represented very well, and you still get the depth of who they are that it takes 100 episodes to explain. You get that in a short time because they cut out all of that fluff and get right to the point. And I've just felt like when I was sitting there watching, I always felt like they just had it on, but they weren't really watching it. They were doing other things and they were just
Mm.
letting it play because you didn't have to stare at the screen to keep up.
Mm.
Everything is repeated so many times. The point is made 100 times. And if you miss half the episode, you're going to get it in the recap. The recap is the main point of the entire episode.
Mm.
If you
Okay.
just watched recaps, and not like Dragon Ball Z, where it was like last time on Dragon Ball Z, where they have to like
Mm.
remind you of what happens.
Right.
But if you were just to watch episode recaps, you could probably fly through all the episodes.
Is this something you would say is indicative of the big three?
I think because the frequency in which the manga was put out, the frequency in which the episodes were put out, this was absolutely a weekly anime. Same with Bleach, same with Naruto. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like when you make a comparison, when you compare Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto, One Piece to Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, um, My Hero Academia,
Mm-hmm.
any of the new popular anime, when you compare those two, one comes on every day, one comes on once a week, one comes on once a month. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
Right.
so it's like the amount of content you're getting and the amount of story that has to be told in the same amount of time is completely different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they literally have said like with Naruto, you can skip XYZ and start here.
Right. Naruto has definitely a block of about 30 to 40 episodes you can literally do without and not miss a beat.
And so it's like that's not to say it's bad, but when you have to pump out a new episode every day because they're showing this on television daily. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is with Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? You've got all those episodes. We're like, oh, it takes 3 episodes for a fight to happen. They stretching out that fight because they got to have an episode for Monday, an episode for Tuesday, an episode for Wednesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it comes on every day in the afternoons on Tanami. Yes, there's 600 episodes of Naruto.
Right.
Shit came on every day.
Right. See, unfortunately, and I will say this. Now, I don't know if this is because I have not watched One Piece. Right? So, because I didn't watch One Piece, oh God, yeah. Well, it got another case where it got better, right? Shippuden was so much. Shippuden is so much another level to Naruto, and it's still pretty much like its own show. So, but something they did really good, especially now knowing that one season of One Piece, the live action is literally covers 90 episodes. Kind of pisses me off that they dropped the ball with Bleach and decided to turn it into some bullshit movie that they probably would have done better, and maybe they'll try this, try it again and give Bleach the live action treatment that I feel like it actually might benefit from and get new fans, because the whole supernatural aspect of it, would translate very well into live action. I think having not Shinigami's, what the soul, whatever the soul, and Bleach. The other half, there's the Soul Reapers and who they wind up
Blood
killing.
War, the Thousand
No,
Year
the
Blood War.
killers, like what they're killing, like in Bleach, what they're going after.
Oh,
I forgot what they're called.
Bleach was not one that I know. The Bankai of the Swords, the Reapers, and the Soul something.
I think it's.
Hey Google, what did the Soul Reapers fight in Bleach? Mo, what did the Soul Reapers fight? We'll get an answer here in a second.
Hollows.
Hollows.
Hollows. So I feel like the Hollows would translate well to live action, because they did kind of look good in their little BS movie.
Like hollows, which are dangerous lost souls that must be
Hey Google,
to maintain the balance between the
cancel.
Yeah, what is
now she want to answer
about,
after
right?
you say it.
I know, right?
She heard you and tried to respond. Nah, I don't work like
she
that.
She was like, yeah, Hollows, what he said.
Right. I can see her like Google be like, yeah. And then she had like a whole explanation afterwards. Like, nah.
Sit down,
just say that.
You're not stealing my thunder. But it's something that I hope they give it another try, especially now knowing that you can actually cover, because they did a good job with Avatar.
Yeah.
Right? So I think they're figuring out that they need to give these properties longer attention, right? Stop trying to sort of abridge these super long seasons of shows where we've had so much character development and so much plot foundation laid that you're just trying to quickly wrap shit up Game of Thrones style, into some climactic 2 hour sprint. Like, it doesn't need to be that way. So I'm hoping that is good to know. But yeah, Wisteria, wand and sword. You gotta put that on your list.
Okay, we will. Let me see let me look and see what else I have on my Crunchy list to make sure it's not already on there. Let's see, what do we got? We got Tokyo Ghoul, Black Lagoon, Erased, Hellsing Ultimate, Devil is a Part-Timer, Summoned to Another World for the Second Time, Rory Kenshin. I'm on episode 9 of that. I have to go back to that.
This is all watch list.
Yeah. This is stuff that either I started watching and never finished, but I added it to my watch list because, like I said, I would.
Gotcha.
Let's see, Skeleton Knight in Another World, no longer allowed in Another World. See, I have Mashill, Magic and Muscles. Okay. Somebody else watched that because it's episode 11. I know I didn't watch it. My One-Hit Kill Sister, Scooped Up by an S-Rank Adventurer, High Card, Akudama Drive, To Be Hero X. That was a great show.
Awesome show.
I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time.
Love these names. What about the case study of Vanitas?
That is one that it's going to recommend to me. It always recommends that one to me. So it's like I don't have to really remember that one. That's honestly how I've been killing slimes for 3,000 years and maxed out my level. That's how that got added. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. That's how that got added because it just kept being recommended. And I was like, I read through it to see if it was something I was interested in. I was like, I'll check it out. But if I go to if I go to the main page and then top picks for you, this is what it has under top picks for me based on my watching. Twin Star Exorcist, Attack on Titan movies, Boruto, Naruto Next Generation, Token Rambu, Hanamaru, Afro Samurai, The Demon King's Daughter is Too Kind, The Villainess is Adored by the Prince of the Neighbor Kingdom, Dad is a Hero, Mom is a Spirit, I'm a Reincarnator.
I'm a Reincarnator. Wow, I love these names.
Togen Ankai, Frerin, Hell's Paradise, The Melody of Oblivion, The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a Typical Nobody, I Shall Survive Using Potions, and Handyman Satao in Another World. Those are the ones that it says are top picks for me. And of course, that's going to base it somewhat off of what I have watched, what's on my watch list, and that sort of thing.
And I have started on Togen Ankai also.
Okay. So let me know if that's... Now, Inspired by Me is also an interesting list because this one is going to be probably a little more to the stuff that I've actually finished. Or like it'll see that I binged this particular series and it's like, oh, you finished this in a weekend? We'll try this. And it has it actually does have Fate, Grand Order, Absolute, Demonic Front, Babylonia on here. Attack on Titan movies, Bayonetta Bloody Fate, Naruto Shippuden, Demon King Daimyo. What else does it have? Hell's Paradise, A Certain Scientific Railgun, Trinity 7, That Time I Got Reincarnated by a Slime, or That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Soul Buster. What's this one with the long title? I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Doro Hidoro, Codebreaker, Blue Seed, Berserk, Kaze no Stigma, Squishy Black Clover, Burn the Witch, My Hero, Twin Angels Break.
Wow.
Yep. Twin Angels Break looks like something I would watch. Was this Magical Girl? Is this action drama shonen supernatural? Girl who innocently aspires to be a hero of justice and is the cool Kisarage Sumire. Grew up in the strict Kisarage household. The two girls who were in their third year of middle school end up getting orders from a mysterious hedgehog and can
Okay.
turn into twin angels in order to fight evil.
From a mysterious
Okay, so
hedgehog.
this is the odd couple magical girl fighting demons. That's what it is. That's what
Gotcha.
this is two broke girls. And what was that show where the two girls live in the apartment?
Two broke girls.
Okay, so this is two broke girls or magical girls and they fight demons. That's what this is.
All right.
Because one grew up in a very specific strict household. One is a carefree, probably scholarship student. She's there on somebody else's dime. And they both want to be heroes secretly, and an opportunity presents for them to be twin angels. So that's how that kicks in.
I have one question for you, because I don't know if we got to talk about this.
What's up?
But how did you feel about Gachiakura?
How did I feel about it? I was definitely very interested in the world they were building up. And I got drawn in very quickly to the question of who is the angel? Do people go back and forth between the surface and the ground? Mm-hmm. And who was the leader of the opposing enemy group? Mm-hmm. Those were the mysteries that I really need to get the answer to this first season, because the way that series ended, I kind of understand why people are just read the manga, because once you start getting really invested into these anime, and this is really a problem with the new anime, because I don't know how many episodes. I've got someone that reads manga passing by. I'm going to throw a statement out there and see if he can present an answer. I don't know how many episodes of something like Demon Slayer exist. I know how many episodes make up a season. So when you look at something like Gacha Okuda, I don't know how many chapters there are and how many chapters are covered by the anime. So, you know what? We'll take Solo Leveling, for example, the manhwa.
Right.
I am very glad that at the very least we got closure on some things. We got to see what happens with mom. We got to see what happens with. But then you present who are these people talking about dad? And dad shows up, and then we have all this other. So.
Right, but that's Hook, right? That's Hook.
It's Hook, but I need closure before Hook. And
but you did get closure. You got closure on the other shit, right? You said, you saw what happened to mom. You got mom back.
But if you present all these other things early as you did, you also now have time to close those out. It's one thing to have a subplot, I can't even say I'm okay with, you know what I'm saying? It's they're giving me post-credit scenes in the middle of the episode. They're giving me those last 5 minutes where that's when they should be dropping the cliffhangers to hype me up for next season. It needs to be a completed season, and then you present the items that you're throwing out there to encourage people to give you cliffhanger.
Right.
Not let's present all this new information in episodes 9 and 10, 11 is going to be the big battle, and 12 is going to have nothing to do with anything we've been talking about because we're hoping to get another season. But what if we don't?
Right.
Now, I don't know what the hell's going on because and you know who else was really bad about that? Windbreaker.
Yeah.
That was the same shit I used to complain about with Windbreaker because if they did 12 episodes in a season, their final episode would be episode 10 or episode 11. That next episode wasn't even necessary. It was the first
It was
episode
the first
of
episode of the next season.
And it just needed to be that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At least with something like a Demon Slayer. We have the big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's laying on the ground. We're all, trying to catch our breath. We stand up. And then when they all look to the horizon and they see whatever in the horizon and then the credits roll, the horizon is the cliffhanger. The horizon is the continuation of the story. That's the part they're leading towards. That's good hook because now, like, oh, what was that? You know what I'm saying? Because even when they did, and spoiler alert if you haven't caught up on Demon Slayer at this point, but when they present Nezuko and she was human, you know what I'm saying? Like they closed all of that out.
Mm-hmm.
They presented everything. And then it was Homeboy laying in his bed talking about what needs to happen next, or right before we get to the Infinite Castle, like we go through the training arc and we see everybody's doing the Hashira training and whatnot. And then right there when they're like, oh, we should be doing some training as well because we don't want to fall behind. They start training and then those demons like pop out. Muzan shows up. There's the whole like he's fighting against the stone Hashira. There's that moment. The other two Hashira are chasing after. Everybody gets teleported to the Infinite Castle, and then it ends.
And then we have a movie. Right?
I was like, while we are definitely ending on a cliffhanger,
right?
Everything was completed, and we know that what comes next is the next arc.
Right.
Like Chainsaw Man. I just watched that movie.
Oh, okay.
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
It was a good movie. She was an amazing character. And I think Reze would have made for an interesting season.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, isn't she a little OP? Isn't she a little powerful?
For real.
And Power wasn't in the episode at all. Or she wasn't in the movie at all. She was like right there at the beginning and then right there at the end. So it's like, I really feel like they made that movie as a cash grab because they saw what Demon Slayer did with the Infinite Castle.
Right. And everybody was on map as
we was like, we want to get a little bit of this money. And they made a pretty penny on it. You know what I'm saying? It did very well. It did nothing to advance the story of Chainsaw Man.
True.
It doesn't tell me anything more about the character. I know nothing more about Denji than I knew before. This was just a standalone featurette with it doesn't even have like the Gun Devil, the Bomb Devil. Like, what is the story here?
Yeah, it's just fights. It's just a series of fights. That's all it is. Like you said, it was a cash grab. It was let them draw something. We got them on the books. Let's get some. Let's get a little bit of extra money. Yeah, they're not doing. Those stories aren't. I feel like they're taking a little too long between certain seasons and certain things. Like it's just. There's a lot of cliffhangers and there's a lot of unfinished business. I
understand that I can't draw.
Right.
I draw very, very poorly. And despite knowing artists, I suck at drawing. I don't practice it, so that's why, you know what I'm saying? I have no aspiration to be a great artist. but I appreciate great art. Um, I imagine it takes a lot to have an animated episode. I was
Right.
watching I watched an Instagram reel from somebody I follow, a comic artist, and he was showing a 30-second clip. It actually wasn't even a 30-second clip, but he showed a clip of his character doing something. And he like, drew a sword and was waving it around, and then it cuts off. And he's like, that clip cost $500 to animate.
Mm.
To make a episode would probably cost about $100,000.
And I
So if
mean,
you
like,
start talking about like, and I mean, on the one hand, that could be why there's only 12 episodes per season, because that's still a lot of money. And so they want to capitalize on the amount of content they can get out. They want to get it out in a timely manner. They have certain deadlines that they have to meet. They don't want to overwork these animators and have them out here looking crazy,
right.
but they also want to deliver, a quality product. So you have to find that right balance.
But I mean, it's your job, right? To me, it is. So I didn't ask you to release Flower Girl is born with extraordinary powers in the New World anime. I didn't ask you to do that. Like, as an anime studio, I feel like them overextending themselves,
Yeah,
that's a personal problem. Like, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate. No, they don't care. I mean, the whole the culture.
I mean,
of the
as
work
the
culture,
consumer, yes, I am greedy. I want my episodes. Where my new episode at?
correct.
I'm waiting. But I also look at it like, I don't know how much money Crunchyroll is throwing them to get their new episodes made versus just the independent marketing. Because like I will buy. I've got a handful
I
of
don't care.
my
Right, there you
anime
go.
T-shirts.
Thank you. I know you got. I know you have 45. I know you have $49. Right. I know you got $49. You got my monthly. You got my monthly subscription, and I just bought two. I bought a shirt. So I know you got some money. I know
But
I don't
that's
pay for
not
some mangas. Right.
right. But see, and that's where I was going with it. Like, I may do better while I'm waiting on the anime. I may do better sometimes to just like, if I need to be caught up, if I need to get into this, I just need to start reading the manga. But it's just like, I mean, to me, reading the manga is no different than reading the comic books or reading comic books or reading books. I don't have the time to sit and do that. I have to do that while I am doing something else. I
Right.
have to multitask. I don't get to read comics the way I want to read comics because reading comics is time consuming. The time that I have to sit and just be in my phone and just play on my phone is usually a little bit of wind down before bed. I have my little brain rot session where I'm like scrolling through, I'm checking Instagram, checking Facebook, checking TikTok. I got to check all my socials, maybe post a little bit here and there. I got to interact with a few people. Oh my God, people send me so much stuff in the course of my day,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where it's like, you think I send you a lot of stuff? I send you one out of every 10 things that come to me.
Wow.
I have a couple of friends that like literally, I think they just sit all day long and send. I am like, do you send it to anybody else? Am I the only person you're sending stuff to? Because I feel like you're not getting the reaction you're looking for. And because, my ass be trying to respond to everything, I try
So
to
I'm
react,
the attentive friend. I'm the attentive friend. I understand. If you
you
send
know what
it
I'm
to me, I
saying?
want to at least let you know I looked at it. Like, I looked at it.
That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's like, I have FOMO when it comes to receiving those. So I will go back when I have time or I remember. I'll scroll back up. And what'll happen is if I get too far behind, I just won't check it. So that
Yeah,
when I do look, it shows me everything that's new.
gotcha.
Or I make it a point to like make a comment to something that lets me know I'm here. So then I can scroll back and I can look at what I made a comment to. I see the image. I'm like, okay, so I was on that one. There it is. Okay. Click on this one again. What was that? Okay, I remember that one. Next. Uh,
I look for the
next.
laugh emoji.
Oh, that's fun. Right. Look, okay, that one's funny.
I look for
Next. Oh, love that. That's great. That and then at the same time, it's like some of this stuff is because it got sent to me, I opened it and responded to it. It's damaged my algorithm. So now Instagram is like, oh, that's what you're into? Okay, we got you.
yeah.
Got you.
Widen your widen your horizons. Widen your horizons.
No,
I
it's
just I want them to. I feel like that is something, and maybe I should have a different viewpoint on it because the medium does kind of spring from right the animated medium springs from the written medium,
right.
right? It's like should I, out of respect for the craft, right? Like should I just go ahead and read the manga? And because like for example, it didn't hurt with One Punch Man. It didn't hurt with Solo Leveling. It didn't hurt with Overlord. There's some of these things that it doesn't it like I'm actually fine with the idea of I read the manga. I have an idea where this story is going to go. I can see the similarities of where the animated version, the anime might match up with the manga, and for the most part, I'm pretty good. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
I spared you, Jeff. I barely send you anything.
Oh wow.
I truly vet the stuff that honestly both of you. I am very selective about what I send to you and I try to make sure that anything I send to you two is relevant and specific to your personalities.
That's nice of you. Because I do have friends that violate. I just have friends that I'm
And
just
just
like,
be
nope,
sending
fuck.
anything and
Yeah,
everything. And
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And one of my friends, it right. And yeah, and I would agree as well. Like, and I think the general rule of thumb is if I am not replying at the level you are sending, that should be your indicator you're sending too much. I
I
actually
mean,
had
to
a
me,
friend kind
fucking
of
send it. I like what Jeff said, man. I'm a fucking mean black hole, baby. Like you send it, and that shit is just, hey, man, did you see? I did
nah,
not.
nah,
When
I
did you
didn't
send
see.
that? When did you send
And
that?
see, but that's also why I try to be selective about what I send out so that I am not flooding people with stuff. And when I send something, they know to look at it. I have a couple of friends,
Yes.
like they only send a few things here and there. Boom. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I will say like anything, any general geek content, that's the worst
Mm,
part. I usually seen it already. I
I
usually seen
know.
it already.
Word, that is real.
I usually seen it.
I have
And
a
I
friend
will
who
say,
loves texting me because he's not a big social media person. So he loves texting me memes, and he's super fucking proud of himself too. He's like, dude, you gotta see this, and I'm like, my man, you like 3 weeks late, but
right. We
but
done
I'm
already talked about that on Black Twitter, bro.
for
Like,
real.
no, I think the issue I have with manga versus anime is specifically they are different formats. And that's we're now at the stage where the conversation is less about manga versus anime. It's manga, anime, live action. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And while I like the medium that is anime. I like that. I
Yes.
don't mind reading. I grew up reading.
Right.
But if I start an anime and then I have to rotate or I have to transition from the anime to the manga,
Mm-hmm.
or if I watched a movie and the story continues in the comics, or here is the movie, but here's a follow up book, I have the issue of now that character's already been created
Right.
and I can't separate that established character in my mind when I'm reading it now. So now I'm looking at these characters on the panel, but I hear the voices from the anime.
Okay.
And in some cases, that will alter the story a little bit because, they make slight adaptations.
Right.
They change a little bit here and there. I don't think it's going to be so crazy like, oh, well, I just couldn't get into the manga because they never did that in the anime, but in the manga,
Right.
I would be fine. I'm sure I would understand and be able to see what's happening in the manga, or they have enough pages they can explain it in the manga. They probably
Right.
do a better job of explaining it because they have the time. They're not rushed the same way as they are when you only got 22 minutes to get this story out.
Right.
Because of that, you probably do get something that you would not be able to get story-wise in the manga. For me, there's a problem of the time limitation.
Right.
Like I said, I can spare an hour. I can spare an hour while I'm eating dinner to watch 2 episodes of something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
one episode while I'm preparing the meal, one episode while I'm eating the meal.
Right.
Give you that hour, I can catch 2 episodes right there. If it's good after I eat, I'll sit and watch a third just because I want to enjoy it.
Right.
I'm not going to read a manga while I'm having dinner.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And I guess that's the difference. I work on the computer. So I have moments where I'm going to be staring at a screen anyway. So can I throw a manga up on the other monitor and, peep it out? I mean, that's how I got through Solo Leveling. That's how I got through One Punch Man. I've read both of those online.
If I found myself working from home,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a triple monitor set up. So I've got a monitor here, one over there.
Mm-hmm.
I would absolutely have my main work monitor, which would be the middle. I would have my info monitor, which would be typically the one that's here where my camera is. That's typically my info monitor. That's where I handle all my producing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This monitor on the far right is outside of my natural field of vision. Mm-hmm. I have to turn my head. I have to do this to look at it.
Gotcha.
Whereas I'm here and I'm here. Like these two, just the way they're shaped and the way I sit, I'm right there on both monitors. That one's all the way over there. It feels like out of place. I would just have an anime on over there.
Right.
And then it would be in my peripheral. I could glance over, see what's happening, and it's like there again. That's why I do audiobooks. That's why I go through so many audiobooks. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have the time to sit and read. But anytime I'm in the car and I'm driving, I don't listen to the radio. The only time I listen to the radio is maybe the 20, 30 minutes I listen to the radio on my way to work. I listen to a little bit of the segments of whoever's being interviewed by the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to the opening of, what's her name? LL Lauren LaRosa. I listened to Lauren LaRosa's Celebrity Report, or In the Know with Lauren LaRosa, whatever the hell they call her segment. I listened to that, but at 8:00, all the music's off. I'm at work. I'm clocking in.
Right.
I'm locking in for work, and there we go.
I guess that would be an interesting question for our viewers, and it's something I'm interested in hearing from more people. Does watching a show and then having that show stop at a certain point and knowing that the manga exists, are you prone to go and check out the manga? And if you have, did it do you feel like it ruined the show for you when when the show eventually came back out? Right? Because like the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, I already know. Like I've already read the manga. Already know exactly how it ends. Already know what happens. Already know what how this is going to turn out. I know how this ends, but I still enjoyed the anime very much. And I think it's the same with books, right? I've read like with certain books. It all depends on how you do it, right? It's what aspects of it are you bringing over, and are you still continuing to tell a good story, right? Are you keeping me
Right.
engaged, right? Lord of the Rings, I knew how Lord of the Rings was going to end, right? I knew when there were certain parts of the movie, I was like, he doesn't say that. That's not him. That's they don't do that. They don't go there. They don't do this. Where's this? Where is Glorfindel? I'm not. There was parts of that it was. Obviously, I know that they took liberties with the movie, but yet the movie still was good enough and stuck to the spirit of the books that I still could enjoy the movie very much. And it was same way with anime. Is I'm coming for the visuals, right? I'm coming for the visuals. I've had the ability to use my imagination, right, on your story, right? Because even with the manga, it's a still panel, right?
Right.
No matter how much you draw it, and you can draw it with as much, detail and skill that it does convey, a blow. It does convey movement. I can see the energy. I can see the emotion. I can get that. But there are some things that just translate better to the moving medium, right? There are some things that are without question, and it's also too given manga, right? It's the simplicity of manga in general, right? The artwork itself is normally not a highly detailed, like a super detailed background, right? It's not that type of artwork. It's much more of the artwork focuses on the characters and kind of conveying a kinetic energy through a still image. And there's a
Right.
lot of mangas that are very good at doing that. But when it's done right in an anime, and right, and because we have examples of when it's done wrong, such as the last season of fucking One Punch Man, which was fucking terrible, and they need to say that somebody hacked into their servers and like messed up their stuff before they released it and do that shit over because that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. But there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, China is definitely stepping it up. They are, like China's coming into the game now. And I mean, China is like, look, man, we don't got a budget and we will work the shit out you. And you better like it, or your social indexing score is going to go to zero. So, but China is absolutely killing the game right now with some of their, some of their artwork. Supercube is fucking incredible. Fog of Five Elements is absolutely. Fog of Five Elements is gorgeous. It's damn near a painting in every frame. Um, so I think these Japanese anime studios are gonna have to figure it out. Like, catch the balance, right? Don't overwork your employees. I don't need that much output. Just give me good quality output. Right? Stop wasting it on some of these, titles that are gonna get 2.4 ratings and nobody's really gonna watch them. Like, don't I get it. There's some people that want to watch them, and obviously I don't watch a lot of slice of life. I don't watch a lot of romance. There's definitely genres that I don't give my attention to, and I know that they are necessary to, they're necessary medium. There are people, there is an audience for that. So,
Absolutely.
But come out with that. But come out, make it quality. Just I'd rather you pick your spots. I'd rather you give me Kaiju number 8. Right? Give me the next season of Kaiju number 8. And don't give me 4 seasons of level something lost in a world that has to make weapons out of banana skins. I don't want that one.
I mean, I think the difference there though is that anime here in the US, we're considered the West, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anime in the West is niche. And while it is growing in popularity, it is still a niche interest. It is still kind of regulated to geek and nerd culture. And as that comes more and more to the forefront and people are, more comfortable excelling in those spaces and residing in those spaces, it's becoming very common for those to be popular. That's how the streaming service Crunchyroll got where it is today. Because there used to be multiple streaming services for anime because it couldn't all be consolidated. You had to go over here to watch this and over there to watch that. And who got the licensing for this? And you know what I'm saying? I used to have a great one, VRV, and it gave me a little bit of everything. I had Rooster Teeth on that bitch. I had High Dive. I had Crunchyroll. I had Funimation. Everything tied up for $10 a month. And it gave me access to all the shit. You're right. I don't watch a lot of slice of life. I don't watch a lot of, like everything I watch tends to be sword and sorcery, RPG styled animes. Even my isekai tends to be RPG sword and sorcery styled animes. I don't see a lot of like Kaiju number 8 was the first anime I've watched in a long time where people had guns. You know what I'm saying? It was like most times these folks run around, they got swords, they got, bows and arrows, they got staves, and they're just fighting. It'd be straight hands or something like that. There's a lot of martial prowess that takes place in most anime. Now, I believe that because anime is such a normal form of entertainment, like we view anime as anime, but I would imagine in Japan they're just cartoons.
Right. You're like, we don't call them Brazil nuts in Brazil.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like we look at it from the standpoint of like here, because it's so niche, we expect only the best of the best to get sent over. But because of the popularity of the genre as a whole, we're now getting everything. And we're realizing that just like if we were to sit here and we weren't even talking about anime, if we were just talking about Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon, we were talking about cartoons that we like. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about like some people are going to like Loud House. Some people are going to like Uncle Grandpa. Somebody's going to love Clarence. You know what I'm saying? It's going to vary. Right. Then you're going to have people who are like still all in on Primal, Samurai Jack. They're going to, it's going to be Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab. They're going to like the cartoon show. There's an anime in the same conversation. You can talk about Archer. You could talk about Family Guy. You could talk about Bob's Burgers. You could talk about Simpsons, Futurama. You know what I'm saying? Frisky Dingo. You have like adult animation because heaven forbid you leave out my Venture Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like when you just talk about animation, There's all types of animation.
Mm-hmm.
Anime is Japanese animation. So there's all types of animation. I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from. And yes, as the consumer, my guilty pleasure, I want you to only vet this and only send me the good shit. Only send me the good shit. But
Or more of an effort to focus on a faster release on the good shit.
now, the flip side to that, though, is you and I, we pay for our Crunchyroll subscription, but that 13-year-old girl over there, she has a Crunchyroll subscription that's paid for. She don't want to watch Fog of the Five Elements. She don't want to watch Super Cube. She want to watch My Dress Up Darling. She want to watch the girly slice of life, run a girlfriend. The hottest guy in the class was the loneliest, and now he's the top. Because they got long ass names for their animes too. You know what I'm saying?
You pose a good
And so
question. Like, which ones? How do they market?
it honestly, it comes by whoever's in charge of saying somebody on that side is like, oh, you should get this one. This is gonna be hot, and then they pick it up, and that shit don't be hot. Let's see, the execs don't be having taste like a deadbeat dad who you buy a gift. You like dinosaurs when you right, right. You know what I'm saying? They go by like, and literally, what did I say a moment ago? We was talking about the two twin angels or whatever. I was like, this magical. This is okay. So this show right here in my head, this is two broke girls, magical girl anime fighting demons. That's how I see it. You have one ritzy princess type girl, one common everyday girl. They're buddies and teamed up, and together they're gonna fight demons.
Right.
Remember when the Hi Puffy Ami Yumi cartoon was on Cartoon Network?
Oh Lord, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Right. So these girls, right? These
I,
girls
I know what you're talking about.
started off. This is for the viewers who may not know, but I'm sure everybody here remembers. These girls started off doing the theme song for the Teen Titans show, and they did that for like a season or two, and then,
that was
yeah,
I
like
didn't realize that was them.
that was where they got. That's why anybody even knows who Puffy Ami Yumi is.
Is that how they got the gig?
That's how they got the gig because they did the intro song for Teen Titans. Then later on, Cartoon Network in their grand scheme of things was like, yo, let's make a cartoon of them, because here you have like they have the same aesthetic of like a Starfire and a Raven, Wednesday and Edith. You know what I'm saying? You have the one goth girl and you have the one rainbow girl. That right there is going to be the same dynamic of the two broke girls. It's an odd couple situation. Anytime you have odd couple, that automatically makes for some form of entertainment. It is like the oldest, most common trope in the book. You know what I'm saying? You take your Naruto and your Sasuke, odd couple. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you have two people and they have a complete opposite personalities, one is up, one is down, it just works. You know what I'm saying? And then they're friends on top of that. And with this show, they didn't voice the characters in the cartoon for Puffy Ami Yumi, that cartoon. They didn't voice the characters, but they had like their little segment at the beginning of the episode where they would talk, and they would have their segment at the end. And of course, they did the theme song. And because of that, boom, they had a whole cartoon.
So you think they're chasing the young kid, the young girl, the youth market?
They're chasing,
like they're going
anybody that.
Let's go with Pokemon, right? I'm gonna go. We'll focus on a Pokemon. We'll focus on a Digimon. We'll focus on a Yu-Gi-Oh. Things like that can easily translate into a market.
Anytime there is something that is popular, there's going to be 5 or 6 knockoffs immediately. Immediately.
But what
And
is what level? What type? Let's take isekai for example, right?
okay,
What isekai would you say has grossed some, you know, noteworthy amount of money that
Konosuba,
made them say, "Hey, I need to turn around and make
RE
70
Zero,
of these."
RE Zero,
Oh, ReZero? Okay.
ReZero, Konosuba, Shield Hero.
But I don't think Shield Hero's a good show. But I don't think Shield would you say that's a grosser? That's a money maker?
Yeah,
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking you to look at it strictly from the
yeah.
point of money making.
Because I think the longevity of the show is an indication that it's a draw. Because, I mean, if nothing else, the one I was just talking about, the time I was reincarnated as Islam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, there's merchandise you can buy out there for Rimmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, lots of stuff you can buy out there with his face on it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
His
I
little
can dig that.
androgynous self. And again, I believe you don't get to 4 seasons in that field unless you are a continued draw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be doing something to keep people watching your anime show. You have to be
But
doing something to keep people coming back to your story. You
but look at
continue to
something like
evolve.
Overlord, right? Overlord probably I would have to say it ranks up there as a moneymaker for isekai
But
animes.
but does it?
I think it. I mean, in
It
terms of
probably did.
popularity, like in terms of popularity, right? But it's did. But the issue is that they waited. We haven't gotten another season, right? They sat up there. They did like
Well,
four
and
seasons,
here's
and
the
then they
question.
didn't. And then
Much the same way.
they stopped.
But see, here's how you I think this is the translation here. And this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. And I think about something Jeff talks about all the time as far as like the marketing side of it. You make these shows so that you can sell these toys. That's the objective. You make this show so you can sell those manga. Manga sales continue on. And that's why sometimes I think we don't get another season because everybody just went ahead and jumped over to the manga. They're selling the manga with no problem. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep this up. I have Ikey or Iqui. I don't even know how to say it, but I have that pulled up so I can watch Supercube. Because you mentioned that, and I remember you mentioned that before. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
I'm
how
gonna
you
check
got
that
it.
out.
That's how I have to watch it.
Let me see if I can find this real quick. Let's see. How many issues of Overlord manga are there? 16 main volumes. The author has confirmed that the series will end with 18 volumes in total, volumes 17 and 18 being released together.
I guess
So,
maybe I just need to just bite the bullet and just go ahead and read it.
and that's kind of what I was joking about when I was like, when you get to some of these, they have a really, really good anime. And because it's so good, we're hyped and we want the rest of that story. I can't wait a year to get the next season of the anime, but I can start reading the manga now. And the manga's releasing every 3 months. And I can be caught up and stay current on what this story is and not have to wait. Because, like right now, if I wanted to, I could find out what the hell's going on with Jin Woo and start reading the manga. No waiting. I could jump on, start that manhwa, and find out the answer to the question. Because, like, when we talk, I still want to, what the hell
Right,
is
because
with
you
the
know I
day?
know that because
Right. You know
I
what I'm
read the
saying?
manhwa first.
See, and if I had read the manhwa first, then perhaps maybe you know what I'm saying, I would be feeling a little bit Slayer.
Right, but
I'd be
it
feeling a
is
little bit
easy.
different. I was reading this comment and
Easier to
talking.
be produced, but that's the question. So, Dark, that's the question I want. Do
Yeah.
you think, right? Do you think that here you have a manga that, let's say, is very popular, right? And I can't necessarily give a specific because I don't know the popularity of mangas. But let's say you have a mildly popular manga that you make into a anime. And I feel like this applies to One Punch Man more than anything else. Because I feel like the success of season one and then somewhat of season two propelled the manga sales into the next level because the animation on the first two seasons was done so well and the characters and the story was done so well. Do you think in situations like that, what should the focus be on? Should the focus be on, hey, I already have, let's say I have enough manga to allow me for 4 seasons, but just stop at two. Should, before I get season 6 manga or season 5 manga, should I get season 3 of the anime? If that's what that's what I want to know how people feel about that. Because I'm like, that's what I would prefer. I want season 3. And then give me, after you got season 3 and I can marinate on that, write them up. Take pages from the anime and make it into the fucking manga.
You know what? I think you would put that in that probably falls into the same questioning category as comics and cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Because G.I. Joe, it is a trick. We're gonna hook you with this. You got this one little episode for you to watch, and you like that. Now read.
Well, they need to start making some manga and having babies.
You know what? I agree. I definitely think that there should be something that says, like, you know, to continue this story, even if it's like just like not even a disclaimer, but just like have one of the characters pop in the back and like, you know, this is the end of the season. We're looking for the next season to come in such and such and such, but you can continue the journey right now. Because I could easily see Deku jumping out there and saying, if you want to continue the story, go beyond and read the manga plus ultra.
It'd be one of those stupid. It'd be one of those, silly after credit skits that they have with the little.
I don't watch them the whole season.
Super cartoon.
I don't watch them the whole season. Why would I stop now? You know what I'm saying? And then it's just for you to tell me as a reminder to go and read the manga. Because again, I think that's what anime is for. Anime is there to push the sales of manga. I don't believe that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think like 90% of shows that are anime have a corresponding manga.
And the revenue generated for that anime is based off the manga sales. Okay,
you see I can believe that. And so it's kind of rare, and that's why it's a big deal if, in fact, a series is just an anime and does not have a manga. I don't even know that there are. I would be hard pressed. It would require actual research from someone with more time than me to get out there and find. He says there's a bunch actually, but the question is, are they good ones? Are they the big ones? Are they the top ones? My guess would be that they're probably not. They're probably going to be the ones that see, I got to check that. Okay, we're going to catch up with these comments.
Oh, wow.
Even DB Super needed to determine power. The manga run for DB Super was so much. Now it's like we get more manga than animation when it returns.
It does seem that way. Yeah.
Yeah. People there are still reading the manga anyway. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, and see, and again, I feel like it's more the Westerners who are complaining about the lack of animation because we're not reading the manga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the large population commutes and travels, and so they have that time where they're going, because like hell,
But there are a lot. There are a lot of us reading the manga. I mean, I may not
there.
necessarily be one of them, but you know what I'm
I don't
saying. There
think it.
are.
I think that's a comp.
I don't think we make up the majority of the audience. Like I'm
Oh
not.
hell no,
Yeah, I'm
definitely
not.
not the
Yeah, there's
majority.
no.
No question
Yeah,
about that.
I
But
have
even
no
then, I was going to
delusions
say
on that one.
I don't know if we can say enough of us to say a lot.
To influence their decision making process.
Right.
Hmm.
Bloodhound is doing really good as live action. Let me pull that up. I got to
Oh,
check out what that is.
is that what that's from? I didn't know. I didn't. You know something? And it looked like that. I'm trying to think. Is that's the one? Hold on, that's
Oh
not
yeah,
the boxer one.
it just popped up. K drama. Two young boxers band together with a
That is the
benevolent
boxer one.
moneylender
Okay,
to take down a ruthless long shark who preys on the financially desperate. Okay.
dude. Some of the action. I got to be honest. Some of the action scenes in that um reminds me very much of what was that John that was on I think AMC Badlands.
Badland, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean it
Yeah, gotta admit,
it's rated very high.
I have two episodes of Bloodhounds watched. So,
It's rated very high.
oh shit, it's on season 2. Holy shit!
Yeah. What was that about Avatar, Jeff? Of course, Avatar. Yeah,
And we
we
are
always gotta
counting
have
that as an anime. We
we
are
gotta have more
counting it
Avatar.
as an anime.
You know what's crazy? Like when you talk about counting it as an anime, obviously, well, I say obviously, but because anybody knows me knows I'm watching it. But My Adventures with Superman has a very unique anime style in its character design and its villain design. Oh, an anime without a manga source. Uh yeah. Yeah, I guess that would yeah, Avatar is an example of an anime without a manga source.
Yeah, they wrote
We will we
comics
would
afterward.
we would give you that one. I mean, of course there's a whole argument like is it anime, is it not
Yeah, but
anime?
they finished the damn season. So
They did. They did. And even went on to do their next series where they did Korra, and there
there you
definitely
go.
wasn't nothing for that. So clearly, that was one that was a good example. Um, so yeah, I definitely think. Oh, so My Adventures with Superman has a definite like anime influence, very evident in the art style and the character models and the designs. A lot of sharp angles. Um, it doesn't do a lot of the chibi expressions, but the characters are overly expressive the way they are in anime, much more than they would be in. Like, obviously, it's not something like Batman the animated series or Superman the animated adventures.
Gotcha.
This has that very clear anime influence, and I can't say that that's why I like it more, but I am definitely drawn very heavily to this new version of the cartoon. Um,
That is true.
yeah,
That
100%
is
right
true.
there.
You can't discount that. We're getting what they give us, and a lot of times they're on point.
And we just have to learn to like it because it is what it is. And by not being so easily influenced, they do tend to stay true to the material, and it does come out
Oh
a
yeah,
lot better
that is true.
as a result. Yeah, so that one and yeah, yeah, and I definitely agree the new style. Um, I like the way that they. So we've been watching. Of course, they've got the new season out. There's 2 episodes in already, and they are adapting. They are adapting the Death of Superman storyline. And well, they're no, I take that back. They are adapting Reign of the Supermen.
Okay.
They are adapting Reign of the Superman because they have not done a killing off of Clark.
I thought the
They did,
DC animated universe kind of they was doing a shutdown of all of this. They did a
no.
crisis
What they said was
or
James Gunn had said, like, all the animation department was still going to continue because Creature Commandos is Creature Commandos, but
yeah.
there was going to be a um, consistency across all IP in DC. My Adventures with Superman technically dropped before. So that gets to remain, and that is continuing separately, standalone,
Mm,
in the same vein as the Batman or something like that.
gotcha.
Yeah, it is. It is so clean. It's so crisp, um, and it does a lot for the fights in the show. It helps add that level of threat that you just didn't quite get out of Superman Adventures. Like you can put Darkseid on the screen and you could have him punch a few big characters. He fights Mongols, stuff like that. Justice League Unlimited. There were times where some of those fights got really good, and obviously there were the good episodes where he had the monologue with Darkseid. He talks about living in a world of cardboard. That's always going to be one of the great moments for Superman in that series. Shout out to Paul Dini for that because that was fantastic. But the anime art style, the very clear influence of anime, it makes a difference in things like showcasing his powers because when he like moves, like he be gone. Like
Mm.
the way they like flash out of script, they just like have those speed blur lines behind him, the little after image and whatnot. It's something that you're familiar with. That type of move. He moved like Jim Woo moved.
Okay,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
got you. All right.
So it's like it's actually just as cool. And then even right down to like having the little pointed chin, like all your anime heroes, like they got all the little details
Where
just
is
right.
this? And this is I can watch this on
My
HBO
bitches,
Max, right? On the DC
HBO
channel.
Max. You can catch
Okay.
it on Cartoon Network on Saturdays at midnight, next day on Max with no promo. So I'm not gonna say it
And
like
what's
that
it
ever
called
again.
again?
My Adventures with Superman.
My Adventures with Superman. All right, good deal.
And again, just a clearly anime inspired show. But I do think you bring up a good question, and I think that's one of the reasons we have to like. I'm not going to say that's one of the other big debates, but I know that that's another major question between like you have some people who are anime purists and they want you to watch it subtitled. You have to watch it in its original Japanese language with English subtitles because the way the Japanese voice acting, they put the right emphasis on things and you can really get what's happening through their voice and their emotions. Even if you don't
Mhm.
understand the words, you can still get that emotion carried by their sound. And then you have people who like that's distracting to me because now I got to read all this shit. I'm going to miss some of the action. Let me just put it in English there. And then, of course, when you do that, there are some things that are dubbed well and some things that are not dubbed well.
But
I personally don't think I've ever really run across something that I felt wasn't dubbed well, or I didn't have any point of reference that it was dubbed poorly because that's how they talk.
okay.
When I say that's how they talk, I mean if I watch the anime and it's dubbed and this is the voice of that character, that's how they talk now.
Okay,
I
I
don't
got you.
have a reference point to be like they should sound like the person who did their voice That's how they sound.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what it is now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it has been slightly jarring going from like when I was trying to catch up with My Hero Academia back when I was, when I was first starting to watch that and I was already behind. I was like, all of these episodes are dubbed. I'm gonna watch like these first two seasons because they're dubbed and I can just fly through the episodes. And it was cool to just like power through the first two seasons of that show because it was a lot of like character development and who is this and how did they
A
get their
lot of
power? Here's their
exposition.
backstory. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool to just kind of power through that with having it dubbed. But then when I made the switch and I started hearing the Japanese voice, that was a
It
little
is.
jarring
It is. It can be. Yes.
because the pacing of their dialect was different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The emphasis of where I would say things, the way I'm used to English dialect being. I know where the pause in certain sentences is going to be. That pause is not there in the Japanese dialect.
True.
Sometimes it would feel like the sentence was being stated like this without any inflection until they decided to do something like that. And that was where the inflection came from. And that threw me the hell off because I've been listening to whoever was voicing this character for 2 seasons and I've gotten used to his American voice
Yeah. I feel that's significantly more prominent with adult
only to now
voices
have this
than
higher pitched.
child voices.
Right, only to now have this very prominent Japanese voice and it be a little bit more higher pitched. And this is how the person talks. And it seems like everything they do is on this one really long, monotonous, like damn, man, breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like pause break in there somewhere, brother. I know your script had commas in it. Stop
And
it.
there's a shit. I have learned that there is a shit ton of deep voiced Japanese men.
Right, but and
They
it's
got a
not.
lot of deep
But
voice
I feel
men.
like
You
all
know.
of those characters are drawn the same.
So yes.
Right, but all of those characters look like Toji. You know what I'm saying? They're all drawn the same. They're like really big buff guys and they all have this voice and they all sound like you know what I'm saying? Like they all kind of, you know what I'm saying? And the first thing comes to mind is when um on Jujutsu Kaisen when he's like only thing as it was like he was asking him, I was reading, he was like, what kind of girls do you like? I guess I like girls like a Jennifer Lawrence.
Right out the blue,
That
right?
part came through clean as hell. You know what I'm saying? But it's like whenever they have I feel like that character voice, that voice actor, they tend to draw that kind of character.
I know.
I know. We right there. Total line.
We
Don't
stop
cross
it. We
it.
stop it.
But like that, they tend to draw that character the same way. But then they have something like on the show Baki, where you got that dude big as he is,
right?
And he has that voice that just sounds like this because he's a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that's how that guy's supposed to sound. That sounds creepy as hell. And that character's just a little creepy. You know what I'm saying? Because he'd be licking his lips way too much to want to box me. Like, you want to wrestle, and all you do is licking your lips. I don't know how I feel about that, partner. Like, don't lick your lips and
Baki
then say
has a
you want
lot
to
of
wrestle.
versatile characters. Maybe not as many as like a JoJo, but definitely a good number of versatile characters.
We won't talk about. And let me tell you something. You try watching that JoJo sub versus that JoJo dub. Just pick one and stick with it. You can't switch back and forth on that.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get through JoJo, so I'm just alone.
My kids did JoJo. I was like, y'all enjoy it. And my daughter did the newest one that has Jolene Joestar.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And again, because it was a girl. And so
Representation
exactly, it
matters.
matters. But see, it's funny. She actually is going through like I was teasing her the other day because I was like, "Are you doing the Disney rewatch? What's happening?" And she just gets in her moments where, even though she's a young adult, she'd be sitting in her bed eating her cereal, watching Lilo and Stitch, and you know, she watched like, and literally, she did the cartoon. The She did the cartoon movie, a
Hmm.
couple of episodes of the cartoon. Then she was watching the live action, and the day she was watching the live action was the day that there was the announcement about Davy Chase, and
Mm.
I was like, "It's really cool that you're watching this today, and that you've been watching Lilo and Stitch all week." Like that's Ohana right there, and that was really sweet. So I thought that was pretty cool. She was watching some Barbie show the other day, and I was like, literally, I was like, "You watching Barbie? Okay, I just hadn't seen you watch Barbie in a while." And she was like, "Yeah, but this is different because like this is like a black Barbie." It's like,
Okay.
well,
And
watch your way then.
it's two super grown ass men who just spent the last 2 hours talking about Japanese cartoons. I don't think we're in a position to judge her sitting with her
Not at
bowl of
all.
cereal
Hell, I'm
watching Disney.
encouraging it. You know what I'm saying? I'm encouraging it. I was just shocked because she has not watched Barbie in a long time. In a long
Mm,
time. You know what I'm saying? Like as a whole like I'm not gonna say like you can't watch kid stuff if you buy an alcoholic drink because I'm gonna have my alcoholic beverage while I watch kid stuff because I'm grown and get to do that.
yeah.
But it is just like again, it was just specifically for her because she went through like her whole little era where she was like watching, Baddies Club and this and that, like watching all of the little stuff. Then she went through a whole little section where she was doing what's the VP Kiki Palmer show?
Oh, wait.
The
Kiki
one where
Palmer show.
she's the fashion designer.
Oh God, I don't know.
Um,
I don't watch shows with real people in them.
um, and True Jackson. Thank you, sir. Um, yes, she was watching True Jackson. She did That's So Raven. She was going back Wizards of Waverly Place. Like she was having just like her whole childhood rewatch. You know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff she grew up on, she was watching all of that. And then she came around and like I said, then she got to watching some of the cartoons and she watched Lilo and Stitch, the animated, then she was watching the cartoon Lilo and Stitch, the episodes, and then she was watching the live action Lilo and Stitch. Beyblade.
Playbaby.
Yo, that's what's up.
Okay. Okay.
So his first anime was what, Pokemon, and now we're on to Beyblade? Because you said he found a second anime, so I'm guessing the first. No, his first one was probably Avatar. That's the one Jeff's going to count as his first one. He got to watch an Avatar. Probably skipped right past Pokemon. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, that's actually and I mean, okay, Pokemon. That's okay,
okay.
cool,
Okay.
cool,
Makes
cool, cool.
sense.
And see, I thought that would have been his first. That made logical sense, but figure you may have strongly encouraged Avatar, but then you might be waiting for him to like be able to truly appreciate Avatar. You got to get all the nuances and everything, and you know, see, honestly, see that's how I know you're raising him right because you like waiting until he can truly appreciate Avatar. We're not just gonna throw this at you and you not enjoy it because then I'm gonna feel some kind of way. So
Mm,
let's
mm.
wait till you at that point where you can appreciate this. But yeah, I would definitely say it is clear that there is a conversation to be had about manga versus anime, the
Mhm.
same way there's a conversation to be had about dubbed versus subbed. And when I get to the end of a good series and the end of a season and I want to know what else is happening, I need the story to continue on. Um, yeah, I do be tempted to just go and pick it up and read through it to finish it. But it's like I don't think I would savor and enjoy it as much as I would just be trying to get the answer.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be
Right.
different if I was strictly reading it the same way I would read a comic book, the same way I would read a graphic novel. If this is
Mhm.
my first and only experience with it, then I'm going to go through panel by panel, page by page, and soak up every piece. I'm going to create the entire story in my head. I'm going to make the animation take place in my head when I'm looking at these still images. Um, and I think comics have always done a good job of translating struggle, strength, movement, action, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Flash comics let you know how fast he's moving.
Oh yeah.
Superman comics let you know how strong he is. So I 100% believe that the mangas can show you these feats of agility and power and strength and let you know how badass these characters really are. I don't think anything would be lost reading Solo Leveling. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I don't think there would be anything lost there. The S rank is still going to be kind of visible. Now, it will be interesting if it's like, you know what I'm saying? And this is the part that be throwing me off because I'm like, they all in black and white?
No. The manhwa's in color.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just every time I pick up a manga, every time I thumb through a manga,
Well,
it's
so
being white.
this was available on the web. They just made the Solo Leveling manhwa, at least to my knowledge, available in book form. I
Okay.
read most of it on.
As a
It was like a
webtoon.
webtoon. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
See, and a webtoon is cool because they've got Dungeon Crawler Carl, a book series that keeps being recommended to me that I have
Hmm,
yet to get to. I'm doing He Who Fights with Monsters.
okay.
Um, and eventually, when I get around to Dungeon Crawler Carl, I'll be able to check it out. But it's got a webtoon that's happening. And I'm like, well, shit, if y'all doing a webtoon, it won't be long before it's either an animated show or a movie. So let me check that out first, then go back and enjoy the book. That way, if there's more, I'll get something extra from the book. But of course, like I said, it'll still be kind of tainted because that character's voice, and that is kind of a problem even with audiobooks. That character's voice
Mm,
is whatever the narrator has decided is their voice.
wow.
I'm listening to a new series now. I talked about in Audible. Where my yo,
I need my credits.
like what's up, bro?
I said, I need my
Because as
credits,
much as I
man.
be talking about y'all need to show your boy some love because I just
Some
be upping Audible
sponsorships.
out here all the time. I need to reach out. I'm gonna send an email, a heavily worded email to Audible and be like, as much as I talk about y'all on my show, bro,
Mm,
y'all can do something. Give me like a bonus credit or something. Just show some love. Um, but the oh yeah, I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
yeah.
Um,
Because
but
everybody's on the phone.
I'm listening to this new book now. It's called Tribe Master, and it has two narrators, a male and a female. Because there's a lot. There's obviously going to be. I got the omnibus. It's 98 hours. It's like 8 books, and so
Mm,
there's a male and a female. She's going to handle all the female voices. He's going to handle all the male voices. I'm used to that. I recognize the female's voice immediately and went back and was looking through my library, found the other book series and looked in the credit. I was like, yep, that's her.
mm.
But it's like, it wasn't like, it's kind of like if you hear Cree Summers' voice somewhere,
Right.
you just
You know who it
recognize her
is, but
voice
it's still its own character.
in the same way that like and this is the worst comparison, but it's a very clear one. If number 5 is on screen
Hmm.
and Foxy is on screen,
Right.
they sound the same, but they sound different. But they sound the same.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like Tara Strong, where like she has Raven and she has Bubbles over here, and then she has this character. Like she does different versions. It's more like Cree Summer, where this is how she sounds, and because her voice is already unique, she uses her voice for this character.
Right. Huey and
Her
Riley
voice is
sound the same, right?
Huey and
Huey
Riley
and
do
Riley,
sound Huey and Riley sound similar, obviously,
right? Sounds
but
similar.
they are voiced by the same
Same
person. So
person.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's yeah, Miss Regina.
And Miss Regina King.
Yeah. It's actually it's cool to watch her voice Huey, but it's hilarious to watch her voice Riley.
Absolutely.
You watch any of those clips, she be
Absolutely.
having to like get into it to do Riley, and Huey she just be talking, which is hilarious. But
Oh yeah.
so I wonder what are some of the other manhwas that are going to be coming up, and are manhwa going to be moving directly to, like, are we going to be getting more webtoons moving forward, or are we going to be getting more anime moving forward? Like,
Mm,
what's the transition? Because a webtoon, I imagine, is easier to put out,
yeah.
and then if the webtoon is successful, you can get it picked up for an anime.
And I feel like that's what there's stuff like I feel like I just read a webtoon for something that was incredibly similar to Jack of all trades. Like the whole idea of being part of a party, they dump you because you're a enhancer, and then you wind up going off on your own and being super dope. Like
Hmm.
I just read a webtoon that was like that, but it wasn't Jack of all trades. But damn near similar. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's easier to put out, right? No paper, still the same, amount of drawing. So, and everybody's on their phone, so the medium is easier to
That part,
disperse, right? It's much
that part.
easier to access the webtoon, and I feel like webtoons don't. I feel like one of the things that I don't remember having to do with solo leveling is read right to left. Like I
Hmm.
don't remember having to do that with solo leveling, as opposed to like One Punch Man and Overlord and stuff. So,
Yeah, as I just looked through this, I just went to Webtoons, went to the first page, just clicked on categories, drama. 577 series are listed. And I will say that I would probably have clicked on about 10 of these,
oh wow,
just just from the cover art, if you will, and the name.
mm,
So there's Bloodhounds, The Cleaner, 1 second, Caster, Black Surge. Mo, this is a moment for you. Webtoons. Are you a Webtoons person? All right, because I know you read a lot of manga. And do you read a lot of manhwa, or have you read any manhwa?
The closest I got to manga was, I think I started read through like the first 10 chapters of the God of High School,
Okay,
something like that.
he read through the first 10 chapters of God of High School,
I
which
can
that was a great anime up until I realized it was another Journey to the West.
but that was like the popular manga before Solo Level became popular.
Yeah,
There was another, but that wasn't it. It was more controversial in its popularity.
half the good ones are in the 5 to 6 volumes or chapters, so they have the material to push that over time. Yeah, I think that would definitely be a good way to start there. And Tower of God was also one that got successful,
Yeah.
even though it was a webtoon first.
High School and Tower of God.
Mm.
Same time.
See, I didn't know that God of High School. I remember seeing God of High School on Crunchyroll, and that being the big thing. And I was like, "Oh, this is really good. I got to check this out."
Yeah, I wound up
And
watching a clip of one of the fights, and that's what made me watch God of High School.
and see, the thing was, when I got to the end of God of High School, um, and I'll say this without making it spoiler at all. I mean, I don't know another way. I don't really feel like it's spoiler because you still got to get there.
Mhm.
But I was shocked that this was yet another Journey to the West story. And I
What is
felt
Journey
like
to the West?
No, his journey of self-realization.
what did you? I'm sorry. Did you say what is Journey to the West?
Yeah, Journey. What are you referring to?
It's Dragon Ball.
Journey to the West is like
Oh, it's Dragon Ball.
one of the. It's a Japanese mythology. It's like Chinese mythology.
Oh, some like what's his name? The Monkey King.
Yeah, Monkey King.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But it's actually it's what, and to be specific,
I was
that's a
like,
different Journey to the West, bruh. Five Goes West is a different Journey to the West. I mean, it's accurate there, but it's still a different one. But yeah, it's Wukong versus the Heavens, and
okay, I got you.
Journey to the West is it incorporates a lot of characters and like the Nine-Tailed Fox.
Very similar, right? Based off of
No. That character exists in Asian mythology.
yes.
And so that's a character you'll find throughout different anime anytime they have like different adaptations of Journey to the West. And Journey to the West is probably it fits in the same category as like I'm trying to think of anything we have that's even like remotely close. I don't think there's a single story. I think the closest thing that the US would have to something like that is probably like Sherlock Holmes, where that is the most adapted, the most adapted story in fiction.
Mm,
It's some variation, some version of Sherlock Holmes.
gotcha.
And so some version of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King.
Right, it persists throughout. It persists throughout various anime stories. Because
Right.
I'm definitely like. I don't know.
But
There's
it's
several
the
movies with the Monkey King, and they did one with I think Jackie Chan is in it, and
yeah,
trying to
Forbidden Kingdom,
Forbidden
Jackie Chan
Kingdom.
and Jet Li.
Yeah. So
That was a
yeah,
really good version of it. And I mean, there are just stories. There's actually just there's a couple of crappy live action Monkey King stories.
mhm.
I've watched like 3 of them. I was gonna do when I
can
was
believe
doing a
that.
series called Why Did I Watch That? I was gonna cover those, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It was like, oh, it was bad. But it was also like at the time on Netflix, you could find a bunch of like wire work, animated, but not even animated, but like wire work.
with the over the top
Right. It had like the
effects.
crazy CGI and special effects
Yeah,
included.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where a guy would like take the sword, and mind you, it's somebody with skill and talent doing the blade like this.
It's always like the witch with the white hair and That
she
type of-
turns into a snake halfway through. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. That was one of the three. That one actually wasn't bad. The one that was on Netflix actually wasn't too bad. And they had another one that was a little more recent. Is that the one you're talking about, Jeff? The one that was like kind of newer. It was a younger Monkey King. The one I was talking about, it was like really bad. Planet of the Apes, the original movie with Charlton Heston kind of makeup for the Monkey King. And when he jumped on the flying Nimbus, it was so obvious that was a green screen, and bro was like standing on a box because the cloud wasn't moving, but he was like trying to keep his balance. I'm like, come on, man. Y'all not
Well, they
even,
have
y'all
they
not
have a
even trying.
series, The New Legends of Monkey.
Like I said, there's
so many iterations. There's
that's the one Jeff's talking about, the New Legends of Monkey.
iterations, which is pretty good, which is actually kind of good. It's a little. Well, I haven't made a determination. I've only watched 2 episodes, so I don't know.
Okay, now this one I think this might be one of the ones I watched. Havoc in Heaven's Place with Donnie Yen. Yeah, you got to check that one out. I will drop that one in the links because I think that one is that full 2-hour version. Oh shit, I closed the wrong thing. That full 2-hour version is available on YouTube. So I will hook y'all up with that one. And let me tell you, because it had Donnie Yen, not as bad as you think. Not as bad as you think.
Oh yeah, he's usually pretty. He's good for it.
Donnie Yen is that dude. Like, do not mistake.
Oh, nice. This is available. Wait a minute. Have I? Oh, I've seen this one. I have. Yeah, I've seen this one.
Like I said, this is the one I think that has like the really bad Planet of the Apes makeup.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Planet of the Apes. It's just Planet of the Apes makeup.
I mean, the fight scenes were dope.
It's
you know
monkeys.
What I'm saying? But it's
monkeys.
such a...
It's just monkeys, and then it's a lot of wire work. It's a shit ton of wire work.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's... Yeah, Forbidden Kingdom was a really good.
That was a decent movie. It was actually a decent movie.
That was a really good movie.
I could have done the white boy was a little, could have been better. But
I mean, somebody had to drag the story.
He's not Dragon Ball Z bad.
Ooh.
So
I wish I knew what you were talking about. So, questions for the audience. Questions for the audience. We'll be sure to put that out, and I'm going to go back and clip that part out. But I, for those of you who read manga, do you just prefer to read? Do you just prefer right? Is that a thing?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Do you prefer?
It was a rumor. It was a rumor.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they do, man. Just to be stupid. They don't even need it.
I wasn't for
but for the manga readers, is it all about like getting the next chapter of the manga? Is that just the solid preference in the way you would prefer to do it? Or are you simply reading the manga because the anime ran out and you needed to get that fixed? You needed to get a little bit more information. You needed to know how it ended. Is that your reason Or do you just prefer to read the manga regardless of an anime? Would you rather read the manga first? You only go back and check out anime when you find out that an anime even exists for the manga you already read. You know, like how does that work? We're curious. We want to ask. So I'm gonna pop those out, make those short so people can, get in the comments and let us know, because I do think that there's a big conversation around, like, it used to be dub sub. We're past that. You know what I'm saying? We're adults, watch what you want to watch. We got it. Now the question has to be, you know what I'm saying, the elitists who are like, oh, you watching that anime? Yeah, I read the manga. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, okay,
Right.
so I didn't. I watched the anime. The anime was good. I would rather watch the anime. And I would keep watching the anime as long as they keep making an anime. Now, if they don't make an anime and I got no choice, maybe I'll read the manga.
Mhm.
But even then, I found, me personally, I have yet. Solo leveling is the closest thing that got me to, like, ready to pick up. I went online, found it, read through to figure out where I was in the chapters and where I needed, like, that's how far I got.
Stop here.
I was like, okay, because I think I even asked you. I was like, okay, so this part, boom, okay, here I
think I
am.
told
This
you
is
stop
this
at
is where we at. So if I
47.
start reading here, this will be everything forward. Okay, good to know. I still have that as a bookmark in my phone. So if ever the mood strikes, but see, now I've got other stuff to occupy my time. I got Jinwoo out my system. I got other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not stuck on that one story now. I got other things. Now I'm about to get stuck on this Fate Saga because it's a lot of stuff I got to watch. So between Fate Saga and Black Clover, that's almost.
Yeah.
Naming Hunters of the Realm is gonna have to wait again. But I'm also looking and I'm like, 12 episodes, I might knock that out. You know
You
what
can
I'm saying?
zoom through it relatively quickly. That
You know what I'm
can be good.
saying?
Yeah, it was just a rumor. It was a rumor. It was a rumor.
Right. Somebody said something about it one time.
A
You
friend
were
of
on
a
one I
person who's
mentioned
not
to
a
you.
friend said something. That's where I am with it, man.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's
And I
where
definitely,
that was.
and
Yeah.
that's definitely a valid question. That's something we can just pose in the group. Like, that's a conversation that that's a thread in and of itself. Um, and if you want to join that group, RG has the magic square. He'll point out that QR code. You can click that QR code there. It'll take you to everywhere you can find Grown A Geeks. Join our Facebook. We've got a Discord. We've got Instagram. And there's a good chance you're either here with us on our Twitch or our YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends so you have other people to talk with about it, and they can come and talk with us as well. But yeah, I think that's a great question to pose to the group. I think we need to inquire with them, like, how do they feel about the mangas? And at the same time, though, I do think, and it's just a talking point here, but I do think that sometimes milking the manga the way they did with Demon Slayer, for example, we had the Mugen Train movie, then we had the Mugen Train arc. They double dipped on that. Admittedly, they double dipped on that because they watched the movie and then they converted the movie into a season. Like, you played
Yeah.
me,
True.
you played me for that, but it was cool because I still watched that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, still watched it. And not to say that it's acceptable, but it's like, because it was so good, I didn't mind.
Right.
You get away with it there because they didn't do that the last time. Yeah, you see, exactly. Mugen Train did so well, they kept doing it. But I also think, like, they knew better, and so when we got to um,
Infinity
the
Castle.
Infinity Castle, they was like, because, like, the entertainment district, they didn't, you know what I'm saying? They just made
Like
that
they
an
didn't.
arc by itself.
Yeah.
They just went in, did it by itself. And then when they did the Hashira training arc, they did that one by itself. and then we got the Infinity Castle movie. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like now we just have to end the series. I don't know if we're going to come back and do a whole season to finish the story, or if we're just going to get another movie. At this point, either way, I just need to finish the story. I don't care how we do it, but you've given me all this anime. Don't you make me read these last chapters to find out how this shit ends.
For real.
That's my issue.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, the death of Rengoku really set the tone, or rather, a real tone of Demon Slayers, where the main characters aren't strong. Yeah, no. I absolutely agree. I think what makes this show good, and believe it or not, even something like My Hero Academia, you know what I'm saying? Like, Deku ain't that dude yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took Deku a long time to be that dude. He would try his hardest, and he was willing to sacrifice whatever to be that guy when he had to be, but he was never that guy. You know what I'm saying? He was pure of heart, and that's what kept him pushed forward. And that's the same thing with Tanjiro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tanjiro is good, but he ain't great. He's only good when it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just good enough. But bro had to get bailed out all the time. You know what I'm saying? And so it made it where we don't have this OPMC. See, that's when we get into that real geek conversation. Right? We don't have this overpowered main character. But you know, for the other viewers who like don't have a what, you know,
OPMC,
right?
Is that a rapper?
Exactly. You don't have this overpowered main character who is infallible and never loses and wins every battle and you know never gets defeated. We saw Deku die almost every fight. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't somebody beating him to a pulp, it was him beating himself to a pulp. Because like my bro had to break all 10 fingers to fight. You know what I'm saying? And was willing to do that. I know some of those words. Orange soda. But I mean, like, there again, that's what makes some of these anime, I believe, just a little bit more popular. And I think that's why they can get away with milking it, because people can find something to attach to. Now, I know people who will argue and be ready to like disown you for even, are you like Demon Slayer? Well, then your opinion on anime means nothing to me. And it's like, you can't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it's popular, don't make it bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and that idea that I there's one person in particular I know, and she is quick to be like, your favorite anime is trash. Ask me about it. And I'm like, that's just like your opinion, bro. Like,
right, you won. Right, you one vote. Like you
right.
you one vote.
You know what I'm saying?
Situation,
like, you're trying to give me the
it's
science behind why this is good, why this is bad, and I'm like, let me tell you something. It's got all the things that people like.
Right.
That's why it's like, it didn't get popular on accident. It's appealing. Good and popular don't always have to be the same thing.
Right.
Sometimes they are. A lot of times popular is just that, popular. Doesn't mean it's the best anime. Ain't nobody out here trying to win no awards for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's they making money. They're doing their thing.
It is. Sometimes it's popular because it's good. So yeah. You know,
I mean,
and if they want to beef about it, let them come on Grown Ass Geeks, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the link is in the chat, bro.
There you go.
The link is in the chat.
It's right there. It's right there.
We got you. We got you.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you want to specifically subscribe to this one, you can click that QR code right there. That'll make sure that you are, in fact, following our YouTube. And you can always catch us there whenever we are live. We're always on YouTube. We're always on Twitter. So that option, either one of the QR codes will get you to where you need to be.
QR codes all over the place.
But RG, you got any final thoughts? Anything else you want to put out there for the people?
I just want to say, hurry up and release Solo Leveling the next season. Yes, I'm still a Solo Leveling stan, so I'm looking forward to it. Um, just can you redo the last season of One Punch Man and just do it over. Just do it over. We'll be okay with that. And that's all, that's all I got, man.
That's all
Live
you
life,
got.
enjoy the art, enjoy the journey, enjoy the anime journey. That's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the journey,
Okay,
whichever
okay,
road
nothing
it
wrong with
takes
that.
me.
Um, I think my closing thoughts are going to be, see, there it is, trending in the United States, Wistoria Wand and Sword. I'm not gonna say I would ignore something like that because it's trending, but I would also be like, oh, well, it's definitely going to be there. I'll be able to get all the reviews and find out about it in a bit. I don't need to rush to that one.
You got your homework.
Yeah, like I'm so past trying to watch what everyone else is watching when they're watching it. Although I will admit, I have learned that some anime can only be enjoyed when others are there. I struggled through Mob Psycho because I was the only person watching it, and if I didn't have you to talk to every time, it probably would have got left. Fire Force was a very difficult one to get through simply because nobody else is watching it right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're watching, if anything, they're watching maybe season 4 or whatever, and it's like I'm still trying to get through season 2. I'm way behind. We've evolved past that now.
Mhm.
And so it's like if I was to ever to try to go back and do something like Fairy Tale or Seven Deadly Sins, those would just, they'd be rough to watch because anime has evolved since that time. Once upon a time, that was peak anime. That was the best that was out. And now so much more good has come since. That's why I'm struggling with Black Clover, because I'm watching this and I'm like, bro, I could be watching better anime. I could be
Yeah.
watching better anime. But I think as we start to get some new seasons of these older shows, they are going to tighten up and I won't really say fall in line, but they're going to look at the way anime is trending and the way people are doing things. And they're going to realize that people are finding success in 12 episodes. So get to the point. They don't have to stretch it out the way they've been doing. And if it's just a matter of, transitioning this content to here, streamline it. We don't need all 35 episodes for this season. Give us 15 solid ass episodes and run it. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you're coming out with something new, sure. Frerin, I could deal with more episodes of Frerin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
because it's something new and it's not based on anything else. And there's nothing else like that. So whenever you have something original, To Be Hero X, I would love another season of that just because
Right.
it was something completely different. I would love the way that story was told to continue. Um, Story wise, you're shocked how it's turning out story wise, or visuals. What part of that shocked you? And yeah, that I mean, it's again, it's just the time has passed for those anime. You had to be
Yeah.
there, and trying to go back and do them. I'm trying to go back and do them because I feel like they are. I can't really say classic anime, but it's also like anime everyone has watched.
True. And there's a reason why
So
most people have watched them. So you might as well find out what it is.
it is just really. But see, are they still in their old we got an episode a day formula, or are they like streamlining the story, getting to the point? Because just
Thousand
look at
Year.
those.
So Thousand Year is definitely like much more. Now, have you watched Thousand Year, the Thousand Year Blood War?
I haven't because I was told I'm waiting on a friend of mine to give me essential episodes to watch.
Okay.
Because I'm not
So
going through all of Bleach. Also, I'm like, bro, I can't be doing this. Like, what time do
yeah,
you think I have?
yeah, you cannot come into
So I was like,
Thousand Year Blood
you
War.
give me an essential episodes so that I know what's going on. Because if this is a direct sequel, then that means I got to watch this to know what's happening here.
And there's a lot of episodes in order to understand what's going on.
I don't get to enjoy 1,000 Year Blood War because I'm not going to go back and do that.
Right, and he's got a point because the animation, that's the thing. The animation on that show is fucking awesome. Like, it is head and shoulders way above previous Bleach episodes. Like, they stepped it up. The animation this season is like, whoa. Okay. But it's Bleach. So I think like the first part of it, the turn up was real. Kind of happened immediately. And then it kind of was like, can we stretch this out? Like, I think you can take, that's exactly what it is.
See, now
That's
I would
exactly
do well. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'll do. I gotta go online, and just like we have comics explained, I need somebody to have done an anime explained. If somebody does anime explained Bleach, and I can listen, I get that knocked out in like 2 days.
Gotcha.
And I'm good with retaining.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? I'm good with retaining stuff like that because it's content that I'm still interested in. I know a lot of the characters. I'm very familiar with Bleach. So I'd be able to like catch up real quick.
Bleach is one of those shows that I like because I feel like the power sets of all the characters is incredibly unique and incredibly interesting. Like, it's diverse. Yeah. It's like you said, it's like Naruto, where it's just all these different powers. So I recommend explain.
I think the idea that everybody's power is individual to them because, you know, they're the sort with the Zanpakuto. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unique to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a direct manifestation of them when it's created. That's one way that you're guaranteed to have variety in characters. You know what I'm saying? And it's always cool when you have a bunch of different power sets and things like that. Sometimes it can be a little hard to keep up with, and it starts to get a little ridiculous because now you got to like make up a gazillion different powers. But it's when it's done well, it does create, you know, a unique opportunity for diversity in characters, and you're not stuck with just the same old. Everybody can this, everybody can that. Nothing wrong with having like a baseline power set where if you are this, you're Soul Reaper, then you can do these 3 things, and then you'll have 2 special abilities in addition. So everybody's going to have their power set of 5. All Soul Reapers have these 3, and then these 2 are going to be specific to person. These are going to be the 2 powers that define you versus everyone else. These are the 3 powers that are required to be a Soul Reaper. It's basic stuff like that. It makes sense. It makes it easy. You can run with that. But when you start trying to like move past that and get into the little nitpicky stuff, then you end up in a situation where you have My Hero and it's like, oh, let's just roll the 20-sided die and figure out what power category you're going to be in. Right. Let's roll a percentile die and see what comes up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you have a hardening power. Let's find out what material it is.
Your rock, your steel.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We got to come up with, and then it's like, how is it all these power sets, only one person turns invisible? Come on, bro. Like, nobody else does that?
No.
Nobody else has that ability. Okay. So it's just, you know what? I was having a dad joke moment. Maybe somebody else had that ability. We just couldn't see him.
All the Geek Sam, folks, is here all week. Don't
forget to tip your waitress. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to get them all out because we just had Father's Day. So You know what I'm saying? I got to get the rest of them out.
How appropriate.
Because now we're at the end. It's time to unleash. Tell the real reason why these characters looked at as bad. Story behind the Sarakai and his old man Yama. Old man Yama's the one with the hat, right?
No.
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 Okay.
Yamato is he's the leader. He's the leader.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and then they kind of like it's a wrap up. It's a wrap up situation, but it's just on. It's just it's on. Yeah.
Okay. Bleach that jam. You know, I got a homie at work who's like, he's so upset. He's so upset that I like had not seen Bleach. And I was telling him the same thing. I was like, look, bro, when Bleach was coming on like every day, I think I was working 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? You was at home getting out of school. I had 2 jobs. I had a wife and kids. I didn't get to catch it then. It is what it is. And because of that,
yes,
I need an essential episodes. And let me be clear. I don't mind the Hot Springs episodes. I don't mind the beach episodes. I don't mind the side story episodes. I don't mind the character development episodes. I don't mind filler episode. I just need the episode 1 to be good.
Bleach is not as much that as Bleach suffers from what most of the big 3 suffer from, which is it takes me 3 episodes to do my super move. And after I do my super move and you have a counter for it, and that counter does something to me, I am going to have another counter because of some other reason that we kind of teased but didn't fully tease. So now we're going to open it. Yeah, there's a shit ton of machinas throughout this show. But it's an enjoyable fucking show. It's an enjoyable show. It's done like I said, the powers of the individuals is literally what makes it. And there's just some characters in there that are so enigmatic that it keeps you a bit focused on, because you're going to want more of them episodes. Like there's a lot of characters that are like, give me more of them, you know? So that's all. That's it.
So my wife has, every night when she goes to bed, she turns on her TV and she puts it on Adult Swim to go to sleep. Now, yes, my wife obviously is a little messed up if she can fall asleep to Family Guy and American Dad. Like that's the shit that calms her and puts her to sleep.
Shit. There's nothing wrong with your wife, man.
And so, but what that means is that when she goes to bed, like Friday and Saturday night, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, especially Saturday night, that Toonami be on.
Okay.
I get home and, you know what I'm saying, once I'm done, whatever, I get ready to get into bed. I come into the bedroom at like 2 a.m. and I've watched an episode recently of Bleach. You know what I'm saying? Just because it was on and I was watching and it was in the middle of a fight. So I was like, let me check this out. Because anytime there's fighting in anime, it's got my attention. Okay. I don't care if I've watched it before or not. I can sit through this. And usually she wakes up before Inuyasha. She normally wakes up at like right around 2 o'clock, right before they restart the series over again. So she'll go to sleep to an episode of Family Guy and she'll wake up to an episode of Family Guy. They've gone through the entire Adult Swim lineup and they're going back to replaying. But because of that, I have seen like the random episodes, even recently. And one of the episodes that I caught recently It was a dude in the green and black bucket hat. Um, he was talking with someone. Someone was getting ready to fight, and it seemed like there were two opposing forces that were about to fight. And the dude with the bucket hat was saying, like, we're not the ones you want to fight. You need to watch out for this person over here. And it was like a third party showed up, and the person they were arguing with, now instead of fighting us, you need to go fight him. Because fighting him is more important. Because if you don't take him out, we all die. And so that person, like, again, it was like enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. And Kasuki, that's the dude with the bucket hat?
Kasuke. Uehara. No,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a few dudes with kind of those bucket hats, but it's probably Kasuke you're talking about.
Nah, I do recognize it's like the main guy. Because every time you see this dude, he got his bucket hat on. Like, that's, if you was to like have the characters laid out, this character would be identified as being the one with the bucket hat.
He has more, because he has more association with the main character. So, how did I forget Bleach's?
Well, like I said, whoever it was, he was fighting.
He has more with Ichigo. He has more. He has more of a relationship with Ichigo, with the main character. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, he's the Kakashi then, because Ichigo would be the Naruto.
Yes, he would be the Kakashi. So, yes.
And so, well, again, he's sitting here. It looks like he's been fighting. He's a little bloodied and whatnot. And the person that he's fighting with, it almost seems like that dude might have been an assassin sent to take him out or whatever. And he's like, well, rather than take me out, what you need to do is deal with them. And there were these two people who were up here, and he was telling this assassin guy, like, you need to take care of them, because if you don't take care of them now, they're going to call reinforcements. It's going to be a problem, and both of us are going to die. And then that dude, whoever that was, because he was somebody I didn't recognize, he like runs past our Kakashi guy, and he goes and he gets engaged in battle with those two. And that the remainder of that episode was him fighting those two people. So I was like, and again, I can't even pretend like I know who anybody. The only person that I recognized, I knew that dude was the main character. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the dude with the bucket hat. Like,
I got you.
Like,
I got you. You might have described probably 28% of Bleach episodes, but
well, okay, let's narrow it down. The fighting was taking place inside, well, not inside, but it was taking place in some like abandoned city district. The conversation they were having was about a couple of towns that had been completely razed to the ground, and he was only able to find him because of something he did. Like, he was looking for him this whole time. He hadn't been able to find him. But it was something he did that suddenly, like, I don't know if he called somebody or used a Soul Reaper power to reach out to somebody to warn something of whatever.
Oh, God.
He did something, and that let that guy know where he was, and then he was able to pinpoint and track him down.
I am not going to be of any help to you. There were 500 episodes.
No, this is, well, again, this is part of the new.
Oh, part of the new, the blood
arc. Right.
Oh,
this is
okay. I gotcha. So no. You know what? I think he's talking about when they come in and they're fighting. They're fighting the.
Yeah. It was okay, and that part you said the fake town. That yes, that's bringing. Now we getting back to it, and
but what are you talking? Are you talking about this is the new? This is in the new one.
Yeah,
Thousand-Year
this
Blood
was an
arc.
episode of the Thousand Year Blood War
Okay.
just the one that I happened to catch.
Yeah,
And
he's talking about when he's fighting one of the main what do they call them? It's like some German name. So because they're in a fake city when it happens, when they're fighting. And one of the guys is an assassin. Like he shoots a bullet and it's like if he shoots it, it's a wrap.
sounded right.
What is
Now, were
I
there
always forget what they're called.
simultaneously there are two people from some other group that are coming after Azon.
Yes, there are that happens. That does happen. Yes,
Everybody be trying to kill him.
Everybody's trying to kill everybody at some point. Like it's
yeah, it could have been
this season is on and popping.
It could have been any number of situations. But again, the point of that being that I randomly caught an episode of Thousand Year Blood War. It was like glued to the TV because what is this shit happening right here? This looks dope. The Keishas and the Stern
Ritters. There it is. Yes.
The Quincy's.
So it's him fighting the Quincy's. Yeah. So it's him fighting the Stern Ritters. It could be when they were fighting the Quincy's too. So were they shooting like bows and arrows?
The two people who were over here on the building, they showed up and they were having like a discussion between themselves. One of them was pretty stupid, and I want to say it was a guy and a girl over here. The guy might have been like kind of an idiot, but was still like, we have to do this, blah, 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 blah. They were looking for my boy with the bucket hat, and he was actively engaged. Yes.
It's not Uruhara though. It's not Uruhara. Yeah, well, they're wearing all white, like white soldier uniform. It's the Quincy's. So it's not Uruhara they were fighting though. It's the dude who winds up becoming the new captain.
You got his name?
Crap.
Is he a main character? Let me just say that. Is he a main character?
I mean, he's a main character. Like we know him from we definitely know him from the first season.
Like he would be someone in the opening credits that I would be like, oh yeah, I recognize him.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then because I don't watch the show, maybe I just associated with the person that sticks out in my mind.
There you go. Because that's why I was like, he also wears a hat.
Okay,
so
again, I
he has that ninja scroll hat. They have that ninja scroll hat. Is it the ninja scroll hat?
Hold on.
You're calling it a bucket hat. And then does he have an eye patch?
You asking a lot of details and some shit that I'm telling you I don't watch.
Well, you're expecting me to remember shit.
No, I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting you to look. I am giving you a random scene from Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War that I walked in on and was like, "Yo, this shit was dope. This is what was happening." And then y'all started trying to figure out. So I started trying to provide as much detail as I could recall as you all were narrowing down what was happening. I'm impressed that you all came up with that. But again, like I said, I knew that he was one of the main guys. And when I think of the characters in Bleach, okay, so is this the guy that's typically associated with Black Girl? The guy that his name is on screen?
No.
Okay.
Not him.
The other guy that you all mentioned, is he typically associated with the Black Girl?
Yeah, he probably has more scenes with her, yeah.
That's who I thought it was. Because I thought with him being on the screen that the black chick was going to show up. I don't even know. like why or what was
Oh, you know
happening.
something? Then yeah, you're right, because that is a bucket hat that Urahara wears. Striped, it's a striped bucket hat.
I said it had the green and black stripes. I
Okay,
remember
yeah,
that.
my bad. Yes, it is
I
Urahara.
remember that.
But I'm trying to remember what was he in Thousand Year Blood War arc where he was fighting.
I'm not talking about the rice hat, bruh. No. What was the other
Nah,
dude's name?
he's
Aizen?
talking. You're talking about Urahara. I mean, like you said the first time, Kisuke.
He's good. Yes. Yes. That cat with the dark eyes, the green and black hat. Okay, it was green and white. My bad. Green and white. Okay. So all you got to do is just think about the fights he's been in recently.
I don't remember him in a lot of fights in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, though.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to remember.
So then that narrows it down from our 28% to like 98% of the scenes that have admitted should be easy to pinpoint.
Good point.
And come on, Venom. I know y'all like see now I feel like we could get it. Just because we so close, I feel like we could get it. And again, what was happening? And let me say this. While I am he's like, yeah, okay, so moving on. Right.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that.
I was fighting the Stern. I was. Oh, he was fighting the Stern Ritter? Oh. Oh. Okay. That's
Stern Ritter Askin versus, and what's this guy's name again?
yes,
Kisuke?
Aston. Shit. That is good. Good point. That is not my strong suit. My strong suit is not remembering those names. I hate that.
And that's fine. Because I'm just like, I feel like there's got to be a video of them fighting, like their duel. Urahara versus Askin. Intense battle Urahara versus Askin. Urahara is the Jiraiya character, right?
You could sort of say that, yeah.
There's the cat. Well, I say the cat girl. There's the black chick in her cat form. But this is the manga. This is not the video. Okay, I can't do nothing with that. And that's just going to confuse me because now I'm going to be like misremembering stuff that I thought I saw. Okay. Anyway, so y'all have hyped up 1,000-Year Blood War. And again, just, if time permits, find me and you know what, Venom, I'll let you have this one as well. Find me a audio recap of the story.
I got you.
Okay. But that dude you were saying, like there were 4 people on the screen, and it felt like 2 people were enemies, but one of those enemies was an outsider enemy. I don't know if their plan was to betray the other team or who, everybody was like RG said, everybody was kind of out for themselves. So, it felt like everybody was betraying everybody. But like I said, what I do recall very specifically is guy A and guy B were fighting, or it looked as though they had been fighting. And in the midst of their fight, he was like, you got to take those 2 guys up there out. If you don't take them out, they'll kill both of us. So like
Gotcha.
whatever our beef is, you got to put that on hold and take care of them. Now, of course, the idea was like, I'm here to kill you, but I also don't want to die. So let me go take care of them while I have the advantage. But if I do that, it gives you an opportunity to recover or escape or whatever. And I'm going to have to deal with you again later.
Okay, see, that's the thing, right? I was like, I don't remember them fighting in Thousand Year Blood War. I remember Uruhara doing a lot of guiding of people.
Maybe
So,
this was a
I'm not sure.
conversation.
Maybe, yeah.
Look, the episode is already aired. So whatever I saw, it's already aired. So if these people haven't fought, then it wasn't him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't this guy against that guy if that fight hasn't taken place.
Gotcha.
I don't know who none of these people are. The person I recognized was the bucket hat guy. That was who I recognized.
He was there.
He was one of the people
in the city.
in this destroyed city. All of this stuff around them is destroyed. All of these buildings have crumbled to the ground. He's behind a destroyed pillar talking to somebody else.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he's just like, hey, fight them first.
Understood.
And that sounds like some Kakashi shit right there. You know what I'm saying? Like
telling other people to fight before you
right. Like, look, bro, I mean, you could take me out if you want to, but like, do you really want to kill me at my weakness like this? Why don't you take me on like a real? Because I mean, you know, that's how anime be. Like, you know, once you fight me when I'm 100%, give me a sensu bean and let's throw hands. What's up?
Oh yeah.
You know, so that's how that would have been.
All right, I got you.
You know what? We will do that. We will like have some, we've got a whole Discord. I've got a whole like server in place and set up, and we can do shows and this and that. So we'll have to schedule that and throw that on sometime. I can tell you that let's see, I'm trying to think when the next watch party opportunity would come up. They got a movie tomorrow. I don't even know what our show Wednesday is going to be on just yet. But you know what? That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. I mean, like we could definitely get into some, you know, we can schedule some anime watch party, and you know, we'll hop on and we'll have the Discord up, and we'll play some stuff and watch some stuff, and we can all haha and kiki simultaneously with it, and we'll do a big invite and have everybody out. I'm with that. That's a great idea. And if you want to do Bleach, we'll do Bleach, and I can just hop in on random episodes. I don't care. Ain't nothing gonna be ruined for me. I won't understand what's going. I'll be the one asking questions though. Just know that. I'll be wanting to know shit.
Okay, I got you.
But hey, that sounds like a plan. We got to get into it. We gotta plan that and do something real soon, because that's actually not a bad idea. That's that's actually more doable than the live D&D. I think we can actually make the anime watch party happen. Trying to get D&D off the ground is damn near impossible. Just trying to get a proper DM. Anyway, anime watch party. We got to schedule that. Sounds like fun. I will post it, put it in the group, and we'll make a plan for it, because I'm sure a lot of people would actually jump in and join on that, and we pick the day and the time and what we're going to watch, and hell yeah, that sounds like that would be a blast. We're going to do that. We'll put that out there for anybody that wants to be a part of that and wants to hook up. There's a QR code. Click that QR code. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. May not mean much, but it helps the channel out a lot, and we would really appreciate it. We're on our road to 500, working on our journey to 1,000. So, here by telling everybody you know. But we're going to call it a wrap tonight. It's been a pleasure. We want to thank everybody who's been in the comments, hanging out with us. Dark Venom, hey man, it's always a pleasure having you here. Tell Tell the fam I say hello. What's up? And we're gonna catch you on the next go round. For RG, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we'll catch you on the flip side. But for today, looking for that button. It's up here somewhere. Yeah, we are out of here.